Okay, everybody. Welcome to the introduction to Constitutional Law Scholar. Give me a 5x5 if everybody can hear me out there. And so, what we're going to do today, hopefully, and forgive me because I don't have my assistant here. He had an appointment today, so he was going to run camera for me and run mic, but I'm just going to go ahead and just begin Constitutional Law Scholar. So, what we have here going all the way back from perfect, from the beginning, the founding of America, right back here. This is the very beginning, the first 13 colonies. And you notice what I don't have on here is I don't have any founding fathers. And the reason why I don't have any founding fathers is because our entire way of life, our being, everything that is America, everything that you ever think about when you think about the country called America, land of the free, home of the brave, was completely transcribed and created by these three men over here. This is John Locke. He's the founder of natural law. Now, I'm sorry, the board's actually incomplete, so I'm going to be saying some things on here that you won't see up on here, but I know them in my head, so I'm going to show you guys. So the very beginning of Enlightenment thinking is going to begin with John Locke. And John Locke is going to write two treatises of government, and two treatises of government is going to be the basis for our Constitution. And this guy right here is named Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, what this guy did is he wrote the social contract, the rule of law that we live under. We are a body of willingly governed, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau wrote that social contract that we live under today. And then this is Montesquieu. You've heard me talk about Montesquieu before. He wrote Spirit of Laws. You guys have heard Spirit of Laws before. I've talked about Spirit of Laws several times. I believe it's published in 1750-51. And Spirit of Laws, what that does is it breaks down the three branches of government, which will go right here: the judicial, the executive, and the legislative branches of government. Because I wanted to get this launched before the end of the new year. I wanted to show you guys exactly what I've been building for so long. And a lot of the cases that when we go down the line here, let's get all the way to the end. Every single case on here is decided by unelected men, mostly unelected men throughout the history of time. Unelected men, forgive me, people who are appointed to the Supreme Court for life. We didn't do any of these cases. We didn't create any of this. And I can't really rock this bad chicken. Sorry about that. But there's a sign over here that says it's the Supreme Court Scholar. If you go all the way back to the beginning, what I want to do with this entire lecture series, what I want to do is I want to start to teach you guys that it's unelected people that are doing this to us, that are absolutely ruining our country and taking away our liberty and all freedom. All freedom is stripped away by the Supreme Court. It's the Supreme Court, Scholar. They're the ones who are screwing us time and time and time again. And it's not just Terry versus Ohio. When we go back here, I don't know what you guys can see and what you can't see, but 1922, Bailey versus Drexel Furniture Company. This case, they tried to tax child labor. They tried to tax child labor to weed out child labor. And the Supreme Court, which Supreme Court was it? 1922? That's going to be the William Howard Taft Court. 9 unelected people, what they did is they kept child labor going in 1922. It's extraordinarily real. The Supreme Court doesn't work for us. They only work for elitists. They work for elitists who are above our government, who literally fund our government. And throughout the history of time, everybody hates the driver's license scam. Hendrick versus Maryland in 1915. This is what creates the driver's license scam in the United States of America. 1915 Hendrick versus Maryland. And if you guys want, what I'll do is I'll read a few of these so you actually understand exactly what they are. Atkins versus the Children's Hospital right here. Atkins versus Children's Hospital of District of Columbia. So I'm just going to read directly from Oyez so that you guys understand exactly what this unelected group of people, the Supreme Court, what they do to us time and time and time again. In 1918, Congress enacted a law guaranteeing a minimum wage to women and children employed in the District of Columbia. District Children's Hospital, which employed many women, sought an injunction against enforcing the law. The injunction was denied at trial court, but granted in the intermediate appellate court. Does the minimum wage law violate due process clause of the Fifth Amendment? The majority struck down the minimum wage law. And that's Atkins Children's Hospital, Atkins versus Children's Hospital of DC. And this is in 1923. You want to get into speech? Let's get into speech. In 1919, see, I'm sorry, I wish I had a camera that could zoom in and out with me, but in 1919 in Sennick versus United States, this is where they put Charles Sennick in prison for violating the Espionage Act for sending out pamphlets that said, "Do not go to war. You are not a slave." And who upheld that he goes to prison for free speech? 1919 is going to be the white court. These guys enforced that our free speech would be completely limited in 1919, Sennick versus United States. In Debs versus United States, 1919, what this case did is they put a guy who organized unions in jail. And who upheld that? The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did. Do you see? I mean, I want to go up and down the line. I just don't have my camera guy here, so I'm a little bit flustered that I don't have a camera person. But I want to stay back here because this is where I've been spending the majority of my time reading and researching. And I want to stay back here because I want to start for you guys to understand that when you get to the Waite Court, 1874 to 1888, when you get to the Waite Court, you get two holdings that are specifically egregious and horrible. Pace versus Alabama in 1883 criminalizes interracial relationships. You can't be involved with someone who is black or Mexican. So a little fun fact, in 1883, there was something like 40 lynchings, 40 white people were lynched in 1883. Then when the Supreme Court came out with their holding in 1883 in Pace versus Alabama that criminalized interracial relationships, in 1884, 160 white people were lynched in America. So when you say the Supreme Court said has real repercussions. In the 1876 case of Cruikshank completely and utterly ended civil liberties for blacks until 1964. 1876 in Cruikshank, from the Colfax massacre of 1873, what happened was a bunch of black people got lynched and they went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court found them not guilty. Do you understand? So they said that their civil liberties couldn't be applied to them. And so from 1876 all the way up until 1964, black people didn't have any civil liberties because of Cruikshank. Now, people will say to you that Cruikshank was outlawed or overruled, but it absolutely was not. It was the actual law of the land for so long. What's going on, everybody? I'll say hello. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody up there? What is going on out there in YouTube? April, how are you? April, I got your t-shirt order. I'm going to send your t-shirt out today. Thank you for ordering a t-shirt. Robin, how are you? What's going on? Dr. Donna, what's going on? James, how are you, my friend? What's going on, everybody? What is going on? So let's keep going down the line because I really need someone to run camera for me when I do this because there's a lot of parts to this. There's, like, you guys can't see it, but there's a big thing here I have to run back and forth on. What's going on, Donald? How are you? How is everybody? Everybody contacted me about the Vegas shooting here. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to go running down to where a bunch of hopped up coppers are and running around with their guns. I'm not going to go running down to UNLV. I have no desire, absolutely no desire to see that. No desire to be involved with those coppers down there. So a lot of people don't really understand the history of blackface. And so blackface is going to be a guy named Big Daddy. What was his name? Rice. His last name was Rice. And Rice started his minstrel act in about 1830. From 1830 till 1860, 1861, a guy named Dartmouth Rice put blackface on his face and dressed up and did what was called minstrel shows. And what a minstrel show is it's like a theater show. Like you go to a theater with music and dancing and singing. But the thing about what Dartmouth Rice did was, because think of the years 1830 to 1860, you can't have black people in your production. You can't have any black folks in your production. So what Dartmouth Rice does is he puts on blackface and then he performs in minstrel shows. And the character that he plays is named Jim Crow. And Jim Crow, maybe you've heard of that, Jim Crow laws, Jim Crow era. That's where you get the term Jim Crow laws and Jim Crow era. It comes from an actor who did an act, the Jim Crow Act, in blackface from 1830 until 1861. At the beginning of the Civil War, then he retired. So what happens is blackface, who is depicted as a feeble-minded slave, a dumb clown, can't walk, can't talk, can't drink, misses his whole face when he goes to drink water. And so blackface, what the parallel becomes is that slaves are blackface. They're all Jim Crow. They're all these stupid, feeble-minded. Their brains aren't the same. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. Their brains aren't the same. They're not the same species. They're different than you and I are. So this idea that Southern Democrats now call black people Jim Crow because it's based on the character that Dartmouth Rice created when he donned blackface. So now you get the 13th Amendment. The Civil War is going to happen from 1861 to 1865. You're going to have the Civil War, and that's going to change things for slavery in America. It's going to change how the country's supposed to be run, how we're supposed to be equal, supposed to be free. So we know about the 13th Amendment, 1865, and the 14th Amendment, 1868. 14th Amendment's equal protection under the law. And the 14th Amendment, you really are going to have to pay attention to, because I'm going to teach you a lot of cases where the Supreme Court used the 14th Amendment, your right to contract, you have the liberty to contract, where the Supreme Court, unelected people who have nothing in common with you and me, where they use the liberty to contract for big business. And they decimate the people, and we'll go case by case by that. And then you have the 15th Amendment, which gives black men, or previously enslaved black men over the age of 21, the right to vote. And that happens in 1870. So now remember, the big argument in 1870 is Southern Democrats are saying they don't want Jim Crow. They don't want Jim Crow to be able to vote in their elections. They don't want feeble-minded, dumb slaves to be able to vote in their election. And this Jim Crow thing that you hear, the reason why you hear it called the Jim Crow era is because this is how black people are looked on, and the laws are created for you and I today. The laws for you and I today are created based on creating laws for Jim Crow. That's how we have the tyrannical police state, prison state, death state we live in today, is that so many laws were policies by the Supreme Court were created for Jim Crow. So now 1870, we're going to begin what's called Reconstruction. Reconstruction is going to go from 1870 to 1876 when Rutherford B. Hayes is elected Well, he's not. He's appointed to president, and he makes a deal with the South to move the troops to end Reconstruction, to take the Northern troops out of the South, because we had Northern troops there to make sure that the abolition of slavery would go through. And then Rutherford B. Hayes gets in the presidency, and he ends that. So Reconstruction ends in 1876. And then when you start to get up in here, I told you about Cruikshank and I told you about Pace versus Alabama. This really puts real chills on relations when you can't even be friends with black people. You can't hang out with black people. So this is what creates the racist system by the Supreme Court. And if you didn't know, Waite was deeply, deeply racist. And the laws that we live under today are based on racism. So we have to go back to the source. Where's the source? It's the Waite Court that criminalizes interracial relationships. So who's to blame? The Waite Court. Who's the Waite Court? 9 unelected people that you and I have nothing in common with. You and I have nothing in common with the Waite Court personnel. So then in 1896, in a case in Louisiana where Homer Plessy is riding on a train car, he's 1/8 black, and they sue. They sue because he wants to ride on the white train car. But you can't have black people and white people riding on the same train car, because you don't want Jim Crow. You don't want Jim Crow riding in your train car with you. And so this is a Louisiana law. It goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. What does the Supreme Court do? Who is the Supreme Court for this? 1896. It's going to be the Fuller Court, Melvin P. Fuller. That's the court that's going to do it. This is unelected people that have nothing in common with you and me. They've upheld legislation that makes legal racial segregation. So say one, so say you all. Now everything has to be segregated. All bars, all restaurants, all clubs, all hospitals, everything has to be segregated down the middle. Well, who did that to us? The Fuller Court did. Was that a law legislated that everything would be separated? No. Who did it? The Fuller Court did it. The Fuller Court is the one who did that. Plessy versus Ferguson was passed by the Fuller Court, a policy created by the Fuller Court. And then we created legal racial segregation. Everything would be separate but equal. We know how that worked out. It was not fair at all whatsoever, not even kind of. So now we have this legal racial segregation, and that's gonna get rid of your 13th Amendment, because your 14th Amendment, because you're not going to get equal protection under the law when they say things are separate but equal, but you don't get the same services. We know this because you have black babies dying in hospitals. One baby lives for every 80 that die, some ridiculous number. And so then as you continue to move forward, we completely knock out voting rights in Giles versus Harris and Giles versus Teasley, 1903, 1904. The Supreme Court says that Alabama can create barriers to voting, literacy tests, poll taxes. You see? So once again, though, let's put blame where the blame belongs. It's the unelected Supreme Court. That's what's happening in our country. That's what's ruined our country. Everything on here, almost every single thing on here, is where the Supreme Court absolutely ruined our country. They ruined our country. And I'm just going to grab this whole thing and move it because I don't have my guy here, but it's the Supreme Court, scholar. It's the Supreme Court. Do you understand that? Does everybody understand it? It's the Supreme Court that's doing this to us. We're not free because of the Supreme Court. We're dealing with all this horrible stuff. We're going to get into Terry in a moment, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going back here in the history because I want you to see that it's not just the recent tyrannical Supreme Court, that the laws even back here. Now I'm going to get into some big business. Now there's big business laws that are created. So from 1897, now these are the years that are taught if you go to these institutions, these universities, colleges. The Lochner era is 1897 to 1937. The Lochner era, it's called the Lochner era because it's based on the 1905 case of Lochner versus New York. And this is where bread companies have basement oven establishments in the bottom of buildings. And in Lochner versus New York, sorry about that, my mic's in the way. When it goes to the Supreme Court, what it's based on is that the bread makers are having to work for 18 hours a day and then sleep on their tables, and then they're being charged rent to sleep in the bakery that they work in. And so in Lochner versus New York, it goes to the Supreme Court. And of course, this is in the Lochner era, 1897 to 1937. Then what happens is the Supreme Court says that no, you have a liberty to contract. 14th Amendment. You are allowed to have the contract with the bakery. If you don't want to work there, you don't have to work there. And it's history is replete with case after case after case like this, and we keep on fighting each other over politics, over Republicans and Democrats who are going to be told who's going to be on the Supreme Court. They're appointed for life. Put a 1 in the chat if they should not be appointed for life. Sorry about the shirt. I had court this morning. I'll go into that more in later. So now as we go down the line, I don't know why there's 2 on there. So then, as you guys know, we hit the era of Prohibition. So Prohibition, if you guys want to go back, so here's William Howard Taft. William Howard Taft, it was both Supreme Court Chief Justice from 1921 to 1930, and President of the United States from 1908 to 1912. So could it be 05 to whatever? So he's right there. And what Taft does, he's part of the Temperance Society. The Temperance Society that's going to begin all the way back in 1810, all the way back, even further than that. And William Howard Taft is a member of the Temperance Society. And so when he's president of the United States, he's pushing to get rid of alcohol. And then alcohol is banned with the 18th Amendment in 1920. It first started as the Volstead Act in 1919. And so now when you get these cases that are going to go before the Supreme Court, they're going to be based on alcohol being banned, being illegal by constitutional amendment, the 18th Amendment. And so what William Howard Taft is going to do is he's going to, in case after case, uphold prohibition because he's part of the Temperance Society. He's part of an abolition of alcohol movement. That's what he cares about most. So in the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States, we still live under the Carroll Doctrine today. The Carroll Doctrine is sorry about that. The Carroll Doctrine is based on the automobile exclusionary rule, and they call it the Carroll Doctrine. Now, alcohol is legal with the 21st Amendment in 1933, but we still have the Carroll Doctrine. And what does the Carroll Doctrine say specifically? That there's an exclusionary rule for your car. What do you mean exclusionary rule for your car? Well, you have a 4th Amendment to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. So because you're in a car, the automobile exclusionary rule is going to say that because you can roll away or drive away, then you don't have the same protections to unreasonable seizure. We might need to search your car. Well, what are the reasons why they can search your car? They can search your car if they say it's exigent circumstances, if there's going to be a loss of life, if the cops are in hot pursuit, or contraband, to seize illegal contraband. Well, what's the illegal contraband that they have to seize? It's alcohol. So, excuse me. So if you're in a car and the cops say that they're in hot pursuit of you, that they're trying to pull you over, and maybe you just didn't know it, or they just say they were trying to pull you over. Hey, we've been trying to catch up with you for a mile. How many people have heard that before? So they can say that they're in hot pursuit of you anytime they want. And this is going to come up in several cases we're going to go over as we continue to move forward. But I want to just point something out. Who did this to us? Who created the automobile exclusionary rule? It was Howard Taft. It was the Howard Taft Court. So the way laws are created is they go through the legislature and then they're signed into effect by the President of the United States. That's how a law is created. There was not any sort of constitutional amendment that said that we had less rights in our car. When did that happen? That happened based on prohibition that William Howard Taft was all for. And he then creates the Carroll Doctrine that our rights are excluded from us. The automobile exclusionary rule means that your rights are excluded from you. That's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that the cops can search your car anytime they want based on the Carroll Doctrine from 1925. So when you get pulled over and they say, we're going to search your car, how come they can search your car? Don't you have a right to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures? You have that right, correct? You don't, because of the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States, which creates the Carroll Doctrine that you and I never voted for. We never voted for that. It was never legislated by the legislature and then signed into effect by the president and then came before Taft's court to see if it was constitutional or not. That never happened. But yet we are now. Let's go for a little further. When you get the 18th Amendment that's going to pass, and then the 21st Amendment here is going to abolish the 18th Amendment so that alcohol is legal again, but we still have the Carroll Doctrine. Why is that? How come that is? Why do we still have the Carroll Doctrine? This was to make sure they could get contraband out of your car because there was illegal alcohol. Alcohol could kill you back then because the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, when he took over the FBI in 1924, he began to poison bottles of alcohol because he couldn't beat the cops who were peddling the alcohol, who were the biggest smugglers in America, were the cops. And so now it became an exigent circumstance. There could be a loss of life because if they have illegal alcohol, the bottles could be poisoned because people, the FBI, are getting poisoned bottles of alcohol. So the circumstances are exigent. Well, who created the exigent circumstances clause? The unelected Supreme Court. The Supreme Court needs to be elected on 10-year terms, and then every year they should have to pass impeachment inquiry. Let me keep going down. Give me 4 seconds here. Let me grab some water. So now I'll just give a little caveat to what I was saying earlier about the Lochner era. Those are those cases where they uphold child labor, they uphold sweatshops, they uphold you being arrested for being in a union. Yeah, the 1908 case of Adair. I don't know if I'm saying it properly. So Adair versus United States, ADAIR, 1908 versus United States. This is where a guy gets a job and they say, "Are you a part of a union?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm a part of a union." And then he gets fired. And it goes to the Supreme Court. Can you just fire me for being a part of a union? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You sure can. I mean, remember, Debs versus United States, 1919. Debs actually goes to prison for being a union organizer, and the Supreme Court upholds his conviction and he goes to prison. So I'm trying to show you guys, it's been the Supreme Court the whole way down, the whole way. They have completely and utterly screwed us. 1927, Buck versus Bell. Buck versus Bell is a horrendous case where they decided that Bell was an imbecile and that they should sterilize her. And it goes to the Supreme Court, and William Howard Taft, remember this big idea that eugenics, that, your genes, William Howard Taft, he has a famous holding that he says that 3 generations of imbeciles is enough. I mean, how do we know? Bell could have been a wonderful person, but instead they cut her fallopian tubes out, and they created a process for the reasons why people can be sterilized. I mean, Buck versus Bell is still active law. It's still active policy in the United States of America. You can be sterilized. I wish it wasn't true. So then 1929, you're going to get the Seabury Commission. And then you're also going to get 1929, you're going to get the Wickersham Commission. Now, the Seabury Commission is different than the Wickersham Commission. The Wickersham was the investigation into alcohol. Remember, alcohol is still illegal in 1931. And so then the Wickersham Commission is going to do a study on alcohol, and it's going to finish in 31, 32, and it's like 100 Bibles that you'd have to read the entire Wickersham. But it pretty much lays out that cops are the biggest alcohol swindlers in America, and that they should double down and arrest more people and put more people in prison for drinking alcohol. And then the 21st Amendment, just 2 years later, is going to make it legal for you to have a cocktail in the United States of America. For all my people who love cocktails. I think I could probably move this. I could probably move this thing closer. I will next time, because right now I'm just giving you guys an overview. I want you guys to see that it's the Supreme Court. It's the Supreme Court. Unelected people. These we don't vote for any of these people. We don't vote for any of them. None of them. None of these people do you and I say, oh yeah, the Stone Court. You know how much you have in common with people on the Stone Court? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The Taft Court, the Hughes Court, the Vincent Court, you know what you have in common with those people? Absolutely nothing. They are the elitist of the elites. They are appointed for life. They don't answer to anybody. They don't ever get pulled over. Their home is never raided. They're never put in torture cuffs. You have nothing in common with them, and they're unelected. They're unelected people. And these are the people who are in charge of our civil liberties. That you can be sterilized by the government, and that's perfectly fine, because we don't want any more imbeciles. I mean, I hate to say it. So then, as you guys know, we're going to be in World War II from 1941 till 1945. And in Korematsu versus United States, this is where on recommendation from Earl Warren, Franklin Delano Roosevelt is going to build concentration camps in America. And he's going to put 150,000 Japanese in concentration camps. And in Korematsu versus United States, the Korematsu sues for his liberty being taken from him. And when it gets to the Supreme Court, they say, no, it was not a violation of your right to be free. I'm just giving you guys the basic understanding of what each case did, so that, we can go into the details of it, but I just want you to understand what each case did as we just run up and down the line here. And so then you're going to, okay, I'm so sorry. So this is an act of Congress, but Brinegar versus United States, this is particularly terrifying, because in Brinegar versus United States, the cop walks up to Brinegar's house, I believe his garage, and I think he's doing lottery tickets, if I remember. And in Brinegar, the cop just walks right into the guy's house. And so it goes to the Supreme Court. Can you just walk into my house? And the holding from the Supreme Court says that if a man of reasonable caution believes that there's criminal activity afoot in your home, he can come in there. He has probable cause to believe. He has probable cause to believe. That's the term that jumped out to me. If he has probable cause to believe. And that for me is absolute tyranny, that cops can just walk into your house if a man of reasonable caution has probable cause to believe. And so then as you go down, so here's the thing. Let me line it out. So when we get to the 1964 Civil Rights Act, there's something that everybody has to understand. This is when blacks in America truly became free. This is when they got to be free, when they got to roam around and go to different places and go to different neighborhoods. This is what the beginning of freedom for black Americans. Because and check it out. It takes 100 years. It takes 100 years from 1865 with the 13th Amendment, then going all the way down to 1964 with the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Because, and I've talked about this a lot. If you're on Team DLZ, if you've been around a long time, I talk about Brown versus Board of Education and exactly what the implications of Brown versus Board of Education, the reasons why Earl Warren is going to pass Brown versus Board of Education. This is great. I'm getting used to it now. I'm kind of getting used to it because this is my first time doing this, and I just wanted to run it live my first time and just go over this as quick as I could with you guys. So in Brown versus Board of Education, I've taught you guys that Earl Warren and the Warren Court. Now, if you read Ian Millhiser's book called Injustices, and if Ian ever was to see this, Ian, you give a lot of credit to the Warren Court for Brown versus Board of Education and for Miranda. But the thing is that Earl Warren was a true authoritarian, and maybe this court got through some civil rights basic but fundamental changes, but the reason why they did it is the same disgusting government that you and I put a one in the chat if you loathe this government. And this is the reason why we loathe the government, why we can't stand the people who have taken charge of our rights and our civil liberties. Earl Warren, when he advises Franklin Delano Roosevelt to lock up 150,000 Japanese people in the United States of America, it is because Earl Warren doesn't know what they're saying in black restaurants. He doesn't know what they're saying in black movie theaters, in black shops, in black churches. What are they saying? What are they doing? To send somebody in who's an undercover, obviously, if it's a black person, you might get bad information because all those blacks don't have the same brains as us. Right? That was the belief system. And so Earl Warren desegregates specifically so that they can integrate the black people and be able to control and take dominion over them. And now take a look at our prison system. But let me lose track here. So Korematsu versus United States, when Earl Warren advises FDR and they put 150,000 people, Korematsu, the Supreme Court people, 1944, it's going to be the Stone Court. Those folks said that Korematsu's liberty was not violated. I mean, do you understand? They are not working for us. They got to be elected. They have to be elected. And then on every single year, they should have to pass impeachment inquiry that the people vote on. Because if the people could vote, oh my Lord, we would get rid of these people for the things they've done. So, and then, Matt versus Ohio, Ian Millhiser in the book Injustices. So let me just give you the cases real quick because we're done with Korematsu. Let me give you the cases that Ian Millhiser has this, great, huge affinity for Earl Warren and the Warren Court. And listen, Ian Millhiser, dude, Ali Baba, man, I've read your books. I've learned from you, man. I am not on your level, dude. You're the man. You're the man. So don't think I'm talking trash to Ian Millhiser if he was ever to see this. I'm not. Ian Millhiser is the man. I have read his books. He is the man. So, but here's where Ian Millhiser, where we have just staunch disagreements, where I don't see it at all as Ian Mill. So there's three particular cases that Ian Millhiser is going to mention in his book Injustices. He's going to mention Brown versus Board of Education that desegregates America. He's going to mention Mapp versus Ohio, which is an extension of the 1914 case of Weeks that created the exclusionary rule. And in Mapp versus Ohio, you're gonna get what's called fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine. So that even if people are guilty and they have the contraband in their car or in their house, if the cops just run in and grab the contraband, the illegal product or substance or whatever it is, then people don't have rights. So even if that person is guilty, you still can't just go run in their house. And that's what the Dolores Mapp case is in Mapp versus Ohio. Was she guilty of having pornography? I mean, it's another conversation. So this case right here that creates fruit of the poisonous tree. If cops find anything in your possession and they have illegally obtained it by going into your home without a warrant or searching your car without the proper probable cause, then it's inadmissible in court. Brown versus Board of Education, which creates finally it gets rid of segregation. And it legally gets rid of segregation, but nothing happens for a decade until the Civil Rights Act. And then Miranda versus Arizona, where we've all seen the cop shows where, read them his rights, right? And really, if you've ever been arrested and you've been through the system, every one of us knows that the Miranda rights are dead. It's just ridiculous. It's preposterous. So these three cases, Miranda, Mapp, Brown versus Board of Education. I mean, Kent versus Dulles is pretty huge too. Kent versus Dulles. What this case is about is can Dulles, who is was he a communist? I think he was a communist. Can Dulles leave the country? Can he leave with his passport? And I believe that the passport agent is the one being sued here. And in Dulles, when Kent doesn't give Dulles his passport, he sues and says, "Hey, look, I still have a right to travel. I still have my fundamental freedoms." And when it goes to the Supreme Court, it's decided 5-4, 5-4, that you can still travel. Think about that. They could have revoked your passport. If they could have revoked his passport in 1958, then could you imagine what they would be doing today? If they were able to limit your travel ability in 58, could you imagine how it'd be by 2023? It would be absolutely preposterous. It'd be beyond. So then, but here's the ongoing kind of open talk I'm having about Ian Millhiser and his specific position, because Mapp versus Ohio creates fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine that the cops have to have a warrant to go in Flores Mapp's house. But then the Warren court, who's under enormous pressure by the cops who are picketing Earl Warren, that they want him removed from being a Supreme Court justice, they then passed Kerr versus California, which is in the blue. What this does is allows cops just to walk up to your house and knock on the door and then kick your door down and raid your house. So, but who did that again? It was the Warren court. It was the Warren court. That's who did that. An unelected body of people that you and I have nothing in common with. Absolutely nothing in common with. So I don't know when people are going to get the message that we absolutely need to change the way we're doing it. Just like, if you go back here, come back here, you're going to get the 17th Amendment in 1913. And what the 17th Amendment is going to do is it's going to elect senators. And that's going to happen in 1913. And so why do we start electing senators in 1913? We start electing senators because they're corrupt. Bribes and nepotism and big business, and they're colluding with members of the House to pass different legislation and bills to benefit those people who are paying them off. And that's exactly the reason why the 17th Amendment elects senators by the people. And why do we elect someone by the people? Well, because then we can hold that person accountable. If they don't do the bidding of the people, we can vote them out of office the next time around. That's why voting is supposed to matter. That's why voting does matter. So, but we don't have that with Supreme Court justices. They're appointed for life over our civil liberties. So we changed it. We changed it with the 17th Amendment. We changed it. We now elect senators. The same thing needs to happen with the Supreme Court. So as we come down, now when we get up here, there's so many things I want to cover here, but I want to keep this kind of short, and then I want to go into talking about. I want to show you guys a video I saw earlier. So now, Are you guys convinced yet that it's been the Supreme Court since the beginning? Do you guys believe me now? I mean, we just covered 24 cases all the way back from child labor to no minimum wage for women to endorsing sweat camps where the living conditions that they have to live in the place they work is upheld by the 14th Amendment, their liberty to contract. And so from the beginning until the end, the Supreme Court has done nothing but screw us over from top to bottom. So now up here, this is where, and this is where the argument with Ian Millhiser that I imaginarily have an argument with Ian Millhiser. The Warren Court also is going to pass Terry versus Ohio. Terry versus Ohio, as you know, can everybody put that in the comments for me, please? OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. So where does that come from? That comes from the Warren Court that Ian Millhiser just gives the biggest, like you have to read his book Injustices, but he just, Ali Baba to the Earl Warren Court. But we have 350,000 people in prison when Terry versus Ohio passes in 1968 as policy created by the Supreme Court. We have 350,000 people in prison. Now we have over 2.5 million. And it's based on Terry versus Ohio. What are the three big factors of Terry versus Ohio? It changes reasonable articulable suspicion as the new standard instead of probable cause supported by oath or affirmation of the victim. It changes it to now the cop is reasonably suspicious of you. It then creates a magical detainment policy created by the Supreme Court. Each different police department around America now creates their own policies around detainment. It's up to each and every one of them, which is absolutely, I mean, think about that. Each and every police department in the United States of America creates their own policy around the detainment policy created by the Supreme Court, by the unelected Supreme Court. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So now Terry versus Ohio, which creates reasonable articulable suspicion taking the place of probable cause, this magical detainment. Well, I mean, how does that even, I don't even understand it. So now, using those principles in the 1972 case of Adams versus Williams, the cops can grab you. Cops can walk up to you and grab you. They could put their hands on you immediately in the name of officer safety, which is the third part of Terry. So in the name of officer safety, that's going to expand greatly in Adams versus Williams. When I believe it was Williams is sitting in his car, and someone calls on him when he's sitting in his car, and they say that he has a chemical in his pocket and he has a gun. And so Adams, a copper, walks up to his car and reaches his hands in the guy's window and grabs him and puts his hands around his waist and grabs a gun. And so then they find the chemicals on him, they find the gun on him. And so then the constitutional question is, can cops just, on an anonymous tip, just reach in the car and grab you? And the answer is yes, upheld from the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio, that if they got a report that you have a gun, for officer safety, the cop can just reach in and grab you. Just reach in and grab you to make sure, in the name of officer safety. So now it went from reasonable articulable suspicion, which replaces probable cause, and then the detainment process and officer safety. So when you combine those three things, you're now going to create a multitude of different laws that create a total police state in the United States of America. So, and who can we attribute this case to? This goes to the Burger Court. So the Burger Court, 9 unelected people that you and I have nothing in common, they said in Adams versus Williams that cops can reach in your car and grab you if someone calls about you. And for officer safety, they get to put their hands on you just based on a phone call. Nothing. Someone called on you. So then as we go to, then you got the 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Mims. We all know what this one is. In the name of officer safety, you have to exit the car. Well, how come you have to exit the car? Because of officer safety that was created in Terry versus Ohio. You have to get out of the car. The 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opperman says that cops can inventory your car. The police can inventory your car to secure private property and for officer safety, to make sure that there's nothing in your car that's going to hurt them. The 1976 case, Martinez Forte, so versus United States. In Martinez Fortes versus United States, that's what creates your border checkpoints, where they can stop you and say, hey, are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a U.S. citizen? Hey, are you a U.S. citizen? Can you just answer the question? Are you a U.S. citizen? So where does that come from? It comes from the 1976 case of Martinez versus Martin Forte. I hate this name. Martinez Forte versus United States, 1976. And where does that come from? The Burger Court. And who decided that they could set up these checkpoints? Was it legislated and then signed into law by the president? No. An unelected body of people who you and I have nothing in common with, they decided, Martinez Fortes versus United States, that the government could just set up checkpoints. Nazi checkpoints. Are you a U.S. citizen? Excuse me, sir. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a U.S. Can you cooperate? Why are you not cooperating? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a U.S. citizen? United States versus place. Dog can come by you and sniff all he wants. We're not searching you. We're only searching for illegal contraband. That's not searching you. We're searching the dog will only alert to illegal contraband. So it's not a search on you. The Burger Court said that. You're not being searched. We're searching for illegal contraband. If you don't have that on you, then we're not searching you. We're searching for the illegal contraband. The United States Supreme Court decided that. Oh my goodness. It's just so horrifically bad. There's so many. Oh man, this is probably one of the worst ones. One of the worst ones is Tennessee versus Garner. Does everybody know what Tennessee versus Garner does? Cops cannot shoot you when you're running away. Eugene Garner would win his case at the Supreme Court. Eugene Garner is shot in the back of the head in 1974 when his neighbors had called the police on him and said that he had come into their back screen door and taken $10 off the coffee table and then ran back out. The neighbor who called the police on Eugene Garner said that he's my neighbor and he's slow. He's slow. And so when the cop got there in 1974, Eugene Garner was in the backyard. I think he was in her backyard or his backyard, but they're neighbors, so they're in the backyard. And so then the cop went out there and went to go chase him, and Eugene Garner jumped on a fence and popped up to the top of it and was jumping over the fence. And that copper, he had hollow tip bullets in his gun. He had hollow tip bullet. It goes into the person and then spreads. That's what a hollow tip bullet does. Well, the copper, he had hollow tip bullets in his gun, and he shot Eugene Garner, a minor, in the back of the head. One shot, pop, when he jumped over the fence, and Eugene Garner died immediately on the spot. And then his case from 1974 got to the Supreme Court in the 1985 holding of Tennessee versus Garner. And what happened when it got to the Supreme Court, I wish I had all the pictures of all the judges. The Supreme Court held that shooting someone in the back of the head when they're running away is unconstitutional. And Eugene Garner's family won the case. But it's a nothing burger case. It's a nothing burger case. And the reason why it is because there's a caveat in there. Is that it's unconstitutional to shoot you in the back of the head as you run away unless it's in the name of officer safety, or if you pose a greater danger to the public, then they can shoot you in the back of the head. So are cops in danger? Yes. Every day cops are in danger. Are cops in fear for their life when you're running away? Yes. Cops are in fear for their lives as you're running away. And so it's a nothing burger case, because if you can still shoot people in the back of the head as they run away. They can still shoot people in the back of the head as they run away. Graham versus Connor. You guys have heard me talk about Graham versus Connor quite a few times. So in I think I may have told this story recently, so I don't know if I want to tell the whole story again. Graham versus Connor, I'll just give you the actual holding real quick in Graham versus Connor 1989. And how did we get this use of force policy by the police? It was created by who? Graham versus Connor? The Rehnquist Court. The Rehnquist Court. So I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but William Rehnquist was a devout racist. Yeah. So in 1964, right here, the Civil Rights Act passed, and a lot of states, because the Civil Rights Act passed, was said you cannot, even if you're a business, you can't discriminate against people coming in to eat. And so what happened was a lot of states, and Arizona was one of those states, they created a city ordinance called the lunch bar rule or something, some ordinance. And what happened was the ordinance said that business owners had the choice to have whites only for their lunch top bar. And so now the Civil Rights Act has passed. So Kennedy's Civil Rights Act, Kennedy writes the Civil Rights Act in 1963, but he gets killed before the Civil Rights Act passes. And that's when Lyndon Johnson pushes it through. And no one thought Lyndon Johnson would, but he did. And so then all the cities and states are trying to create ordinances and statutes. And so in 64, Arizona creates this statute that says you can only have, business owners have the right to have whites only. We don't have to desegregate our businesses. And so then within the city council meeting or at the hearing, there's a guy who goes in and gives this really eloquent speech as to the reason why the business owner has every right to have a whites only lunch counter. And that guy's name was William Rehnquist. William Rehnquist. That's right. Right there. Chief Justice of the United States, 1986 to 2005, appointed by Ronald Reagan. We all know how Ronald Reagan felt about black people. So when Graham versus Connor comes before the Supreme Court in 1989, and DeThorne Graham, a black diabetic who in 1984, just 5 years previously, it's funny, Eugene Garner's case took 10, 11 years to get there, but Graham versus Connor got there fairly quickly. And here's the reason why. Because this is going to determine that the objectively reasonable officer on the scene will determine the appropriate amount of force to be used on you. And so now that's for every cop. Graham versus Connor now extrapolates what's good for one is good for all. And so the policy created by the Rehnquist court against a very black and urban DeThorne Graham in Graham versus Connor. I mean, just a total racist to the core. William Rehnquist was such a hardcore racist. I can't even, just research him a little bit. You'll find out for yourself. So I don't make this all about William Rehnquist. I want to go down the line and teach you as many cases as I can, just real quick in this first round down the constitutional law scholar teachings here. And I got t-shirts coming. I can't wait. So anyway, let's finish. So Graham versus Connor in 1989 will create that cops can use the objective reasonableness that they feel they need to use on you. And that force will be determined by the reasonable officer on the scene, which is if that copper is me, I can just decide how much force. I look at you and I say, oh, James Forbes, I look at him and I consider him a threat. So I'm going to go hands on Billy stick immediately and have my taser ready to go, because I'm afraid of James because he's got a big neck. I'm objectively reasoning how much force I get to use on him. So now I just want to get into a few of the Roberts decisions where he just is such a, the easy one obviously is Arizona versus Johnson. Arizona versus Johnson is that the passenger has to get out of the car, and that again, the Roberts court, unelected guy, super rich, elitist, comes from families, you have nothing in common with John Roberts. He's appointed to the Supreme Court. He's never been pulled over ever in his whole life. Never been pulled over by the cops, not once ever. So anyway, in Arizona versus Johnson right here, he's going to reiterate that if the cop pulls you over, then everybody in the car is detained. Everybody in the car is detained. And so what does detain mean? Anybody? Detain comes from the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. So what does detainment mean? Detainment means each different police department around America will determine their detainment policies. So now we go up here and we go Arizona versus Johnson. If the driver is pulled over, then everybody in the car is detained. Okay, so you work for the Oregon City Police Department. What is the detainment policy of the Oregon City Police Department? That they can put all detainees in torture cuffs. When? Now. Every person detained by the Oregon City Police Department, the officer puts them in torture cuffs immediately. That's their policy, practice, and procedure. I don't know if that's true for Oregon City, but I'm just telling you. So in Arizona versus Johnson, what essentially that means is that if the car who's driving you, if the driver doesn't turn on his blinker and gets pulled over, you can now be detained. Well, what does that mean exactly? Well, you have to look up your police department where you live and say, what does detainment mean in your police department? What's the policy of detainment? They may have a different policy for when you pull people over and the passengers are also detained. I remember one time they put me in thumb cuffs. They put me in thumb cuffs. Copper had me and 3 of my friends, were all in college, and they put me in these thumb cuffs. I didn't know if that was within their policy. Did that copper carry those thumb cuffs around with him for fun? Did he think it would be fun to put people in thumb cuffs? I'm not really sure. Wren versus the United States, 1996. Wren is based on reasonable articulable suspicion. Where does reasonable articulable suspicion come from? From the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. Reasonable articulable suspicion takes the place of probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. Officer safety is paramount, and they can now detain you. Reasonably suspicious, officer safety, they can detain you. Terry versus Ohio. The 1996 holding of Wren versus United States, it says that if the cops have reasonable articulable suspicion of your car, they say that you have to have some sort of traffic infraction that they can pull you over for, but this is a high crime area. Lot of chemicals are run up and down this street right here. There was a robbery over here last week. They said it had a car look just like yours. I'm just doing a routine stop. A routine stop? What do you mean? Well, they said there was a blue Honda. You're driving a blue Honda. And that happened when? A week ago. It's a Wren stop. So what's Wren based on? Reasonable articulable suspicion. Where's reasonable articulable suspicion come from? Terry versus Ohio. Devin Peck versus Alford. No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. Not in Devin Peck versus Alford. Devin Peck is arrested without any probable cause. Oh man, I actually took the time to create a card for this because in Utah versus Street, this case right here, the 2000 what that's wrong. It's the 2006 case. That must have been a misprint. Sorry, this is a practice wall. This isn't a real wall. So I wanted to read Sonia Mayor's dissent in Utah versus Streif 2006, because the Utah versus Streif, what it means essentially is that if the cops are called on you, someone calls the cops on you, that the cops can pull you over. They don't need any reason, you can be driving perfectly normal. Everything can be perfectly copacetic with you in your life. But if someone calls the police on you, the cops are going to pull you over, and without any probable cause on an unconstitutional stop. That's Utah versus Streif. That's what it says, 2006. And so I just wanted to read Sonia Mayor's dissent in this. She argues that the Fourth Amendment's exclusionary rule was intended to prevent police officers from taking advantage of their own unconstitutional conduct. And so Utah versus Streif, what this specifically says is that if the cops erroneously stop you unconstitutionally, but then they find probable cause to arrest you, or if you have a warrant, then they can arrest you even after they stop you unconstitutionally. And what Sonia Mayor is saying in her dissent is that you're rewarding for police for doing something illegal. But the Supreme Court, who's supposed to be on the side of our civil liberties, does not care. Does not care one bit. Oh, did I lose reception? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can still see me. Are we still there? Are we frozen? I don't know if you guys are still there or not. Are we back online? Let me see. Yo. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to refresh my page here. So, I hope you guys heard what I said about Utah versus Strieff. So now, I want to just take a break because I've been doing this for 1 hour now. I'll put on my headphones for a second, and I want to go over what's up, Playboys. What is going on? Utah versus Strieff, horrible case. But it's the Supreme Court, scholar. It's the Supreme Court that's screwing us all. That's screwing every single one of us. So thank you guys for watching that. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm going to break this up into sections and teach it just a little bit different than I did today. But there's stuff that I want to teach here that I want you guys to see. There's more. I'm going to break it down into sections. I have a much bigger plan with what you guys see behind you. It's just not completed right now, but I don't want to spend time aimlessly going over different cases and stuff that I know. I want to put it into specific sections and create like a syllabus so people can follow along. I really want to be able to teach a specific process of cases where the Supreme Court screw us and then they piggyback on screwing us and they piggyback on that and they piggyback on that. But what's going on, Playboy? So as you guys know, you guys should have my trifold in your car, invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, the cop card as well. You guys should definitely have this in your car. There's a bunch of cases on here. You know what I need to do? Hold on one second. This is driving me crazy. Has to stop. There we go. Yo. Just tying this thing around here real fast so that my wheels don't rock. There it is. Cool. Yeah, how is everybody? What's going on? What is going on out there in the land of YouTubes? I guess Facebook as well. What is going on? So yeah, make sure you guys, everybody has my trifold in your car. If you can't afford one, just email me and I will email you one, and you have to print it out yourself. But you want to follow all the case law that I have in here. You want to memorize every single thing that I put into this trifold. And so now I want to cover a video, and I'm going to cover this video because it has to be covered. I don't know if I want to cover it during this live stream. I'm trying to decide if I want to. What's going on, everybody? Everybody do me a favor. Put down in the comment section, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. If you would, pretty please. And I will pull up this video that I want to cover with you guys. Pretty fun. Pretty fun doing Constitutional Law Scholar. Even if I'm just kind of just riffing, it's still super fun. "15 seconds here. I'm going to find this video I just watched the other day. History. Okay. Bear with me just 1 second. I guess I watch a lot of videos. I guess I watch more videos than I thought. I really do. Damn. I watch a lot of videos. Okay, cool. So now I got it queued up. Let's get into this a little bit. You guys, I want you guys to stick with me here. This is gonna kind of, well, it is what it is, but I'm gonna cover it. So it has to be covered. So someone sent me this video the other day, and they said that there was a couple things in here that I needed to see, that I needed to take a look at. And so first and foremost, you know, I want to. I'm sorry for the guy who is in jail for murder. He did not murder anybody. But what this says is Virgilio Mendez is still in jail for this, being prosecuted by Mark Johnson, St. Johnson's Sheriff's Office. Leave your comment, State Attorney General's Office. So the puts the different things there, and that's good. You know, I hope that guy gets off, that justice is done for him. But I want to show you guys this video because, you know, we just went over it. What are the 3 parts of Terry versus Ohio that completely and utterly upend the Constitution of the United States? Reasonable articulable suspicion, officer safety, and detainment. Those are the 3 things that Terry versus Ohio does. Reasonable articulable suspicion takes the place of the probable cause standard in the Fourth Amendment. That's what it does. That's plain and simple what Terry versus Ohio does. We all agree on that? We do, because that's what it does. Fourth Amendment gives you the right to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures, to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects. That's what the Fourth Amendment does. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys understand that. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand exactly what I said, because the reason why I'm showing this to you is because you have to understand that part first. We had a Fourth Amendment standard to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures. That's supplanted by reasonable articulable suspicion. So now let's get into this video a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and get your opinion, okay?
2023. May 19th, 2023, a young man by the name of Virgilio Mendez had rented a room at a Motel 8. He had gone outside to eat his dinner and make a phone call when Sergeant Kunovich of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Department spotted Mendez. Nobody had called about Mendez, and the only thing Sergeant Kunovich had seen Mendez doing was existing out in public in the evening. It should be noted, as it may be very relevant to this story, that at this time, North Korea had a curfew in place from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Due to the fact that over the last 2 decades, the U.S. has been adopting so many North Korean policies, it's reasonable to believe that Sergeant Kunovich may have been under the impression that North Korea's curfews also applied to the U.S.
Stop! 422 St. John's. 1012, single 13 P. Hispanic male, white t-shirt, black shorts, Super 8 30 16, 3576. You get to phone me. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Under the North Korean policy, anyone leaving their homes after curfew are unconditionally arrested and interrogated at police stations. They aren't sent home until the authorities have confirmed where they're going. If confirmation is impossible, they aren't sent home.
Okay, why, when I was driving around, stop.
Eating.
Okay, but why did you get up and walk away?
Huh?
When you saw me, you got up and walked away. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
But you meet me here, you go for drinking.
Where are you staying?
Huh?
Where are you staying? Sleeping?
You say,
Here?
yes.
Well, why aren't you eating inside?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Speaks.
Okay, I've got something coming.
It's undeniably clear that Sergeant Kunovich was under the impression that these North Korean policies did apply in the US and that he should enforce them. Unfortunately, he was mistaken. You see, in the US, in order for an officer to be legally and lawfully allowed to stop and detain someone, they must have what we in the free world call reasonable articulable suspicion that a person is committing a crime, has committed a crime, or is about to commit a crime. This is intended to protect innocent people from being harassed and shaken down by government officials such as Kunovich. This puts the burden of proof on the government, meaning the government has to prove that you've committed a crime, rather than you having to prove to your government that you haven't committed a crime. This is one of the most fundamental principles of freedom that separates the US from all those horrible places in the world that you don't want to live in. Unfortunately, either Sergeant Kunovich was never taught the laws of our nation and its founding principles, or even worse, he was taught and chose to willfully and maliciously violate them.
Okay, do you have any ID?
So did anybody else see why someone sent me this video and said I need you to take a look at this? Does anybody else understand what you're seeing here? So this is what I try to reiterate this to people, and I want to roll this back so you guys can hear it yourself.
They aren't sent home.
Okay, why when I was driving around?
Yeah,
Oh, stop.
Eating.
Okay, but why did you get up and walk away?
Why did you get up and walk away? How come that cop can go up to that guy and say, hey, how come you got up and walked away when you saw me? How come that is? Because of reasonable articulable suspicion. Reasonable articulable suspicion is not a gold standard of freedom. It's the opposite. It creates what the cop objectively reasons to be reasonably suspicious. It's the polar opposite of the Fourth Amendment. No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation of the victim who you violated with by breaking the law and committing probable cause.
When you saw me, you got up and walked away. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
But you meet me here, you go bar, you drinking.
Where are you staying?
Huh?
Where are you staying? Sleeping?
You say, yeah.
Here?
Yes.
Well, why aren't you eating inside?
I'm sorry.
That's the cop's reasonable articulable suspicion. Why'd you get up when you saw me? Maybe he had to get something to drink or go pee. Maybe he wanted to go inside, get some napkins. Who knows? He's staying there. And then he says, where are you staying? And he says, I'm staying here. The cop has created what he has decided is reasonable, articulable suspicion. And that is, you looked at me funny. It's reasonable, articulable suspicion is a joke. It's everything that we hate.
What?
I'm sorry, speaks.
Okay, I've got something coming.
It's undeniably clear that Sergeant Kunovich was under the impression that these North Korean policies did apply in the US and that he should enforce them. Unfortunately, he was mistaken. You see, in the US, in order for an officer to be legally and lawfully allowed to stop and detain someone,
what's the second part of Terry? Detainment. Reasonable articulable suspicion and detainment. The two parts of Terry versus Ohio so far that are horrifically bad.
for an officer to be legally and lawfully allowed to stop and detain someone, they must have what we in the free world call reasonable articulable suspicion.
But that's not freedom. Reasonable articulable suspicion and detainment are not in that image. Neither one of those terms exist in that 1776 Declaration of Independence, but it would be in the Constitution, finished in 1791, ratified in 1793. I'm a constitutional law scholar. That's all I do is study this stuff. Detainment nor reasonable articulable suspicion are foundational principles or pillars of liberty. It's the opposite. It's probable cause supported by oath or affirmation.
That a person is committing a crime, has committed a crime, or is about to commit a crime.
Nope. That's not the standard of liberty. That's not what this image is. None of those words are in those images you're showing there.
This is intended to protect innocent people from...
No, it's not. Reasonable articulable suspicion is a construct of institutional racism. It doesn't protect people at all. It makes cops be able to say, why did you get up from the chair when you saw me?
being harassed and shaken down by government officials such as Kunovich.
No. Reasonable articulable suspicion allows government and people like Kunovich to enter into your life. And Kunovich said, why did you get up when you saw me? What were you going in there for? Where are you staying? That was his reasonable articulable suspicion.
Puts the burden of proof on the government.
It doesn't put the burden of proof on the government. Reasonable articulable suspicion puts the burden of proof on you. You have to justify why you went inside when you saw him. How come you're not eating in there? You need to answer that question, or his suspicion is going to be even more raised.
Meaning the government has to prove that you've committed a crime.
No, once again, incorrect. All the government has to say is, I was reasonably, articulably suspicious. That's all the government has to say.
Rather than you having to prove to your government that you haven't.
Oh, sorry about that.
Committed a crime. This is.
Let me make sure I didn't lose you guys. Did I lose you? Sorry about that. Do I still got me? Give me a 5x5. You guys can still hear me okay? Give me a 5x5 real quick, just so I know. Just so I know you guys can still hear me.
It's one of the most fundamental principles of freedom. It's to prove that you've committed a crime, rather than you having to prove to your government that you haven't committed a crime. This is one of the most fundamental principles of freedom that separates the U.S. from all those horrible places in the world that you don't want to live in.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's totally incorrect. I mean, there wasn't a single
crime, rather than you having to prove to your government that you haven't committed a crime. This is one of the most fundamental principles of freedom.
It's not a fundamental principle. Reasonable articulable suspicion is not a fundamental principle of freedom. It's the antithesis of freedom. Makes you have to prove that you're not doing something wrong if someone questions you based on their suspicion.
That separates the U.S. from all those horrible places in the world that you don't want to live in.
No, that's not true either. You're most likely to get arrested here because of reasonable articulable suspicion. You're more likely to go to jail here than in any other country in the world.
Unfortunately, either Sergeant Kunovich was never taught the laws of our nation and its founding principles, or even worse, he was taught and chose to willfully and maliciously violate them.
Okay, do you have any ID and identification, license?
What?
ID, identification.
Yeah.
In the room?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first name?
Huh?
Your first name.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
Huh?
You have any weapons on you?
No.
Well, you know what that is. Turn around, let me look.
No.
Turn around.
No.
Turn around.
But no.
Don't walk away from me.
No.
What's that called? That's called detainment. The cop gets to Terry pat you down. He's doing a Terry stop.
No, sorry.
Don't pull away from me. I'm checking you for what? Get your hands away from your...
No.
Stop.
No.
And how come he can do all this to him? Because of his reasonable articulable suspicion that then he is illegally allowed to pat him down for weapons for officer safety.
Stop.
No. I'm sorry. Hey.
At this point, Sergeant Kunovich violently attacks the man who is suspected of no crime, simply for being outside of a hotel that he has paid for. Other officers arrive on scene and help Kunovich with the attack, beating and tasing the man for at least 6 minutes. This is when things take a dark turn, but miraculously not for the victim this time. After Mendez is roughed up and stuffed into a cop car, Sergeant Kunovich collapses on scene and is later pronounced dead from a heart attack. Sadly, his final acts on this earth were to violate the rights of an innocent man. Under federal statute 18 U.S.C. 242, it is a felony to violate someone's rights under color of law, punishable by up to 10 years in prison or death. Sergeant Kunovich tragically died while in the commission of a federal crime, which ironically is punishable by death. While I personally believe that all life is sacred, I do understand the sentiments of people who would say something like this about the situation.
So
he will never again harm another innocent man, woman, or child.
I mean, this is all funny stuff. This is super funny. I think it, great edit, super funny cutting that together. But the factual information in this video is so atrociously bad that this kind of stuff, YouTubers who just picked up a camera and were brave, they're not constitutional law scholars. So this is a super entertaining video, but it's fundamentally false. And then you're going to see even more further as we go down how it's even wrong again. And that's a big frustration for me, especially when I see such a big YouTuber who creates this and spreads this kind of nonsense that is everything that we have to fight against. It's astounding to me.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place.
But the story doesn't end here. Mendez was charged for the murder of Sergeant Kunovich.
And this is where YouTubers like this one do a huge service to the community when they use their big platform to show that there's an injustice happening. And this is, this is good. This part here that we now know, and the information is down below where we can contact people and start to reach out. This is the good part of this video.
After this incident, the charges were later changed to manslaughter. Since that day, 18-year-old Mendez has been sitting in jail without bond for the death of Kunovich.
New details about the line of duty death of St. Johns County Sheriff's Sergeant Michael Kunovich.
Well, Joy, some of that new information that came out today finally explains why there was an interaction between Sergeant Kunovich and Aguilar Mendez.
Sergeant Deputy Michael Kunovich was legally out with a person that was at a permanently closed business in the area of 16 and 95.
Okay, I want to just go. I want to. This is important here. Listen to these words, and I'm going to tell you what he's talking about when he says,
Deputy Michael Kunovich was legally out with a person that was at a permanently closed business in the area of 16 and 95.
Okay, so what's important about that? He was legally out detaining somebody at a permanently closed business. What was he doing? He was using reasonable, articulable suspicion to walk up to a guy sitting outside of his hotel eating his dinner. That's why this copper here said he is legally with somebody at a permanently closed hotel. How is he legally there? Because of reasonable, articulable suspicion. That's how he's legally there.
With the body cam not yet released, Sheriff Robert Hardwick tells two lies in just 10 seconds. One, that his sergeant was legally out with a suspect.
Was legally out with a person.
It
Terry.
is illegal to detain someone without reasonable suspicion of a crime, which his sergeant
No.
is illegal to detain someone without reasonable suspicion of a crime.
No, I'm sorry once again, and that's why I'm covering this video. Absolutely wrong. The police can detain you the moment they see you based on the third pillar of Terry, officer safety. The moment the cop approaches you, walks within space of you, if he sees you from across the parking lot, he can drive over to you, immediately detain you based on officer safety. Officer safety, detainment, reasonable articulable suspicion. Those are the three big Terry things. The three big. What this guy just said is dead wrong.
Sergeant was legally out with a suspect.
Was legally out with a person.
It is illegal to detain someone without reasonable suspicion of a crime.
No, it's not. You can be detained the moment the cop decides in his head he's objectively reasoning that you could be armed and dangerous.
Which his sergeant had done. He also claims that the individual was at a permanently closed business.
That was at a permanently closed business in the area.
Which is just an outright lie. He was at a Motel 8 at which he had purchased a hotel room. Clearly, the business was open.
He checked out with him simply to say, hey, why are you on this property trespassing? That was a simple thing, simple task.
Sheriff Hardwick now insinuates that Mendez was trespassing. But trespassing is when you illegally enter or remain on the property. It was the business was open.
He checked out with him.
What the cop is talking about is reasonable articulable suspicion. Listen to what the cop says and then attribute it to RAS.
Him simply to say, hey, why are you?
Clearly, the business was open.
He checked out with him simply to say, hey, why are you on this property trespassing? That was a simple thing, simple.
Reasonable articulable suspicion.
Task.
Sheriff Hardwick now insinuates that Mendez was trespassing. But trespassing is when you illegally enter or remain on.
And he walked up to him based on what? No probable cause, no phone call, no information on his reasonable articulable suspicion of trespassing.
On the property of another without their permission. Mendez was on the property of the Motel 8 as a paying customer with their permission. And Sergeant Kunovich had absolutely no reason to believe otherwise, or in other words, no reasonable articulable suspicion that he was trespassing, which would have been required for a legal detention.
Wrong. Dead wrong. You can be legally detained in the name of officer safety. Immediately, the moment the cop sees you, he can detain you the second he lays his eyes on you for officer safety. You don't have to have been doing anything. You don't have to be a threat. He can decide. In his mind, he views you as a threat. He can detain you, put you in torture cuffs, put you in the back of his car. All because of Terry versus Ohio. But what was said here,
believe otherwise permission. And Sergeant Kunovich had absolutely no reason to believe otherwise, or in other words, no reasonable articulable suspicion that he was trespassing, which would have been required for a legal detention.
no, it's not true.
As the body camera footage will come out and show you, it was by the book, textbook, and all the suspect had to do was comply. Sergeant Michael Kunovich succumbed basically to some medical issues that actually were induced by the struggle with our subject.
It wasn't until just a few days ago when Mendez's attorneys finally got the body cam footage released that we all got to see what really happened.
I think there's going to be a lot of litigation as to whether there was a reasonable suspicion that he was committing a crime, was about to commit a crime, or had committed a crime. And they would have to establish that Mr. Aguilar Mendez knew or reasonably should have expected that his act would have caused the death. So that's going to be very difficult.
But false arrests and malicious prosecutions are almost never about trying to secure an actual conviction. People seem to be under the impression that in order for a court to hold you without bond, there must be some type of actual evidence to establish probable cause. That's not true. The sworn affidavit or sworn written testimony of a police officer is considered to be enough evidence for a court to find probable cause that you committed a crime. Absolutely no real evidence is necessary, and almost no police officer is ever criminally charged for filing false affidavits. So police use this tactic all the time of filing false affidavits to get you thrown in jail, knowing that it's enough to have you held until trial. They know that they're going to lose at trial because they have no actual evidence, but they don't care. They got you locked up pending trial for something they know you didn't do, which essentially was the punishment. And this is where the plot thickens even more. It was already illegal for Kunovich to violate Mendez's rights. But as soon as Kunovich passed away, it appears that other deputies, the sheriff himself, and possibly prosecutors may have conspired to further violate Mendez's rights by having him locked up for the last 7 months for a crime they know he didn't commit. But I suppose that probably just sounds like a silly conspiracy theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out the merch Suspicion.
So what do I think? I think it's a tragedy that this guy's been wrongfully arrested and he's incarcerated in a dungeon right now. I think that's horrible. I think that's horrifically bad. I wish YouTubers would stick to YouTubing and not talking about principles of freedom if they don't study them. That's what I wish, truly. If you're not going to study, then don't say things that are just patently going to lead people in the wrong direction. To believe that reasonable articulable suspicion is some gold standard of freedom and show images like this that separates us from North Korea. It's exactly what makes us North Korea. It's exactly what makes us that way. And if you're going to compare the United States freedom to North Korea or to the Honduras or wherever you want to compare us to, then you don't understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We're supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave. So I'll tell you guys what, right now, anybody goes to my website and gets anything, you get a trifold. I'm going to give you the Fifth Amendment cop card for free. This is like a credit card, like a hotel key card. I'm going to mail this to you. And what this is a step-by-step tutorial of what to do when you get pulled over. So go to deletelaws.com. Liberty Blair is here. Go to deletelaws.com right there and get a trifold. There's $9 one, there's a $30 one, and I will give you this Fifth Amendment cop card absolutely for free. And if you guys notice on the back of it here, it says number 4, if you're a non-driver, cop demands ID, says he has reasonable articulable suspicion, what we've been talking about all day today. If the cop says he has reasonable articulable suspicion and he demands your identification, you read the yellow part. You say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as good citizen. No ID required. The law is in the navy blue. Hibble versus Nevada. With reasonable articulable suspicion, citizen must state how they ID. Do not give ID without probable cause. You got this card from me for the moment you're having now with the cop where he's saying, give me some ID right now. And you go, you have a step-by-step tutorial in the back. You have your cell phone right there. So you pull your phone out, which my phone's not by my desk right here. You pull your phone out and you show the phone the card and you say, you want my ID? Let me show you. You can read number 4. You can give the card to the cop, read number 4. With reasonable articulable suspicion, and you say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. And then you give him the card. Now that you pled the Fifth Amendment, he can't ask you any more questions without violating his qualified immunity. And you're filming him the whole time. So I want to get these out. By the way, April and Shanta, both you guys ordered t-shirts. Those shipped today, and I put the Fifth Amendment cop card in there for you. I put that in there for you, April, and I put that in there for you, Shanta. We got to get these out into the public. So if you guys get anything from my website, anything at all, I'll give you the Fifth Amendment cop cards for free during my live stream because, I'll get like 10, 15 orders, but I'll get like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe. One time we had like 18 orders because I gave away the Fifth Amendment cop card, which is $30, but I'll give it to you for free. I really want you to get the trifold in your car. Yeah, Shanta, got you, hun. I put some Fifth Amendment cop cards in there for you. In your t-shirts, you and April both. You guys were my only 2 t-shirt orders, so I gave you guys both Fifth Amendment cop cards. Angie, your Fifth Amendment cop cards got mailed out, so you'll get those. Stoked. Let me guys know in the chat if anybody got the Fifth Amendment cop cards or the trifold. Anybody get that? Because I sent it out to so many people. I want to make sure. And now I do all the shipping. So I do all the shipping. So now it ships same day. No, I ship everything that day. Like right now. Oh, by the way, also what I'll do if you guys order anything from my website during the live stream, I will email you everything I sell for free. I will email you everything I sell for free. I make plenty of videos about how to use this trifold, but you have to invoke your Fifth Amendment right and say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. And say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Clown Patrol, shoot me an email because I believe I sent you Fifth Amendment cop cards. I mean, I have pictures of everything now. I'm so, because I had to take over the shipping. Yeah, you guys got to, Daughter Almighty, go to my website, get the $9 digital trifold if you don't have very much cash, and I'll mail you the Fifth Amendment cop card for free. Go to deletelaws.com. I mean, I would love to give these away to everybody just absolutely for free, but you guys, I'll lose my shirt. You know, I have a nice shirt on today because I had court this morning, so I didn't want to change after. Oh, you got your card in the mail? Awesome. Anybody else get their cards? Let me see. I'm not reading comments. Let me see. Oh, you got yours, Soilio? Right on. Right on. Oh, you got 2 pairs? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, because Joe, you ordered, just so you guys know, Joe, you ordered the Fifth Amendment cop card, but then you ordered during the live stream. And so I said, anybody who orders during the live stream is also going to get the Fifth Amendment cop card. So you ordered Fifth Amendment cop cards, but then I have my word I have to keep. So that's why I gave you another pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards. Yeah, I have to make sure that you guys order anything from my website during my live stream. So I started at 2:00 or 2:45 between now and the time I get off the live stream, and then maybe like an hour afterwards, I send you the Fifth Amendment cop card. I send it to you. Let me show you. Let me just take 1 second. Let me show you. You know, forgive me. Me having this many Fifth Amendment cop cards, like that's how many of the Fifth Amendment cop cards I have just right here next to me. This isn't even all the cards, but me having these Fifth Amendment cop cards, it does absolutely no good. This doesn't help anybody. This doesn't help a single person. Not a single person. So what good does it do for me to get these if I don't put these in people's hands? So maybe I should just jump on the website real quick and just drop these down to $10 real quick. You want me to do that? Then you guys, it'll be easier for me. Then I don't have to go and check everything. Let me jump on the website real quick. I'm going to go to the website just real fast. I'm going to drop these Fifth Amendment cop cards down to $10. That way you guys can just buy one. You guys can just get one. These Fifth, and I'm just going to do it during the live stream. Oh, you got yours? Yeah, you guys, listen, just so you guys know, it's taken like 9 or 10 days to the East Coast now. So just you guys remember that. Greg, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you putting that up there. Yeah, I mean, look, these don't do me any good. I didn't get these for me. So I'm gonna drop the price of these down to $10. They're $30. I'm gonna put them down to $10 right now, just on the live stream. Just during live, I'm gonna change it back after I get off live stream. But I'm gonna drop these down to $10 right now. I can't give them all away for free. You guys know that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not rich, you know, you guys know what I mean? So let me go to products right here and let me change the price of these Fifth Amendment cop cards to $10. That way you don't have to, well, it doesn't matter. All products. Yeah, I mean, there's so many hundreds of people here in the chat that I have sent products to, and I'll just continue to do it. 5A cop card, quick edit, sale price, $10. Update. Okay, there it is. There it is, you guys, right there. I just did it. Just put someone check the website. Yep, I just did it. So Clown Patrol, make sure you email me or just put your order number in the comments right now. I want to make sure. Yep. I mean, I just want to make sure that I have your order number. I don't want to miss anybody's. Oh, you've been here for a long time, Jim? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you, Angie. Yeah, I do all the shipping now. And now that I have like 1,000 of these in stock, like I don't want them in stock. So you guys check the website, see if it says $10 for the Fifth Amendment cop cards. And I've got so many hundreds of these in stock. And it's like, for what? For what? For what? Why do I have these for? What do I have these in stock for? These don't help a single person in my hand. Everybody has to have one. So I mean, should I go down to $9? I mean, whatever. Just let me know. Let's make a deal. PayPal me $5. I mean, just get the Fifth Amendment cop card. Just get it. Get it in your wallet so you have it. So you can follow a step-by-step tutorial. I mean, especially if you're driving a car and you don't have your trifold on you, it's step by step. Step one, cops cited, start filming, and you state out loud as you're filming, as your camera's rolling, you state, I invoke my First Amendment right there. You follow the step-by-step tutorial. Yeah, I just dropped it down to $10. I just dropped this card down from 30 to 10. I just got them all. So I have 1,000 sitting next to me. So I'll make my money back and everybody will get the cards. So I'm stoked. Let's just sell them. Let's just get them out into the public. Cop cited or citing, start filming and say, I invoke my First Amendment rights. First Amendment is upheld the 2017 case of Turner versus Driver. It's your right to film police. Number 2, cop approaches, states alleged infraction, or questions you. While filming, give all required legal documents and state, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Fifth Amendment's unequivocal. Cop loses qualified immunity for questioning you in the navy blue. Number 3, cop asks you to exit the vehicle. While filming, exit and lock the doors. Show this card or state, I do not consent to searches or seizures. The 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Milne, cop must believe you're armed and presently dangerous. So he thinks you're armed and presently dangerous. Remember that as you get out, as you're filming with your phone in your hand. I do not consent to searches or seizures. Just get out. He thinks you're armed and dangerous. He's ordering you out of the car. That's what he believes. Remember that. I'm dead serious. Remember that. And then number 4 on the other side, cop asks to search your car. While filming, you can give consent, then revoke consent by stating, I revoke consent, stop searching my auto. And that's your Fourth Amendment's upheld by the 1991 case of Florida versus Gemino. You have the right to revoke consent. Cop says he smells Mary Jane. This case law only applies to states that sell medicinal or recreational Mary Jane. While filming, show or state smell is not probable cause. The 2021 case of Commonwealth versus Barr says smell is not probable cause. Number 6, cop says he's calling in a canine. While filming, show this card or state extending the stop violates my rights. 2015 Rodriguez versus United States, cop cannot extend stop to call in canine without reasonable articulable suspicion. What we've been talking about the entire time. I dropped these down to $10. These are $10 on my website. They were 30. I'll drop them down even lower so that people can get them for Christmas. We'll go down to $9. I don't care. You have to get these. You have to have these in your stock. Steve, I got the sweatshirts coming into this week. I'll let you know. I've been to LA and LA and then back in Vegas and then back to LA and then back to Vegas and now back to LA. So that's how many times I've been in the past 2 weeks back and forth between LA and Vegas. It's not showing up at $10. Let me check it. I put it at $10. 5A cop card. I have it at $10. Let me go to edit. Let me try it like this. It's got to be $10. I put it at $10. Sale price $10. Yeah. Update. It should be there. Refresh your browser, KT. You may not have refreshed your browser. You have to refresh your browser. View product. Yeah, the Fifth Amendment cop card's now $10. I'm looking at it. I can take a screenshot. There it is right there. Yeah, I'll take a screenshot and show you. Here's what I'm seeing on my end, Katie. Thanks for telling me, though. I appreciate you. So I'll share with you guys what I'm seeing. So the cop card really is $10. Order a bunch. Order 3. I mean, I sell them for 30. Order 2 pair. I'll give you the 3rd pair for free. Order 2 pair. Order 2 pair of 5A cop cards. Cost you 20. I'll give you a 3rd pair. You'll get 3 pair for $20. Let's get them out of my hands. What good do they do here? What good do they do here? Go to my website right now. I got them for $10. You get 2 pair. I'll give you 3 pair. I got them right here. They're in stock right now. I put them in the mail tonight. You'll have them in mail's taken between 7 to 10 days sometimes from California to New York or Florida. It's taken up to 10 days. Yesterday, people are still contacting me, but I got these down to $10. Both pair, $10. Let's get them. I dropped the price from 30 to 10. I mean, I have 1,000 of them. What good do they do me? None. I already paid for them. The money's already gone. So all from the way I see it now, all of this is profit. That's how I see it. I'm just making some money now, but I already paid for them $6,000. So, so it's not really all profit, but you know what I mean? But it showed up as 10 on your order right there. Boom. Yeah. If you order 2 pair Milton, I'll give you 3. So you can go back and order another pair Milton and I'll give you 3 pair. Got to get them out of stock. What good do these do? What good? How you bet, Redneck. Put my Cash App up there, will you, mods? What good do these do me? Seriously. How many people am I actually helping if I'm like, these are $30 and you can't have them unless they're 10. You get 2 pair, I'll give you 3 pair. These are $10 now on my website on Delete Laws. They're just like a credit card or a hotel key. They'll never fade. They'll never peel. Yeah, Redneck, hit me. You bet. Make sure I get your full mailing address if you Cash at me. Let's get them out. Because then, by the way, as soon as this live is over, I'm going to put them back to full price. Just during the live. All right. Hopefully because I don't make any, I don't really make any money, but that's okay. I make some money. It works. Oh, it still says 30. No, I got them on sale price. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I just took a screenshot so you guys would know. Here's what I see when I go to my website. This is what I see, and I believe my own eyes, and I know what I did myself. I do appreciate you checking, though. I mean, really, if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, check me and be like, yo, you didn't do it. Yeah, see, that's what it shows on my side. They're $10 right now. I mean, what? They're $10. If you get 2 pair, I'll give you 3, and then you got your Christmas shopping done. Then you got your Christmas shopping for every single pig hater like me. Then you have a bunch. If you want to Cash at me, PayPal, or Venmo me, let me know and just put your full mailing address with your full name and I'll send it to you. But let's get these out. I got 1,000 of them. I have 1,000 of these. I have 1,000 Fifth Amendment cop cards. I got 1,000 in stock right now. So let's get them out. KT, you got to refresh your browser, honey. I promise it's working. Because I got like 4. Let me check the orders and I'll tell you. Let me go back into my own back end and take a look. But I do appreciate you checking. It's important. I mean, we got to make sure that people get them for $10. I mean, this is a great way because they're going right back up to 30 as soon as I get off this live because I have to make a profit on them. But I do a little more in break even when I sell them for 10. So I'm still making some money. I just had to put the big lump out at first, and that was like hard. That was hard. I was dying. Yeah. So in the past, yeah. We got, let me see what Victor got here. Let's get these Fifth Amendment cop cards out. Oh, Victor you got 2. Okay. That's not right. Shouldn't do that. There's an error. Hey, buddy, can you fix the shipping charge on the website? When people are ordering, they're getting more than one shipping charge, and that should not be. For Victor, you got 2 shipping charges. I'm gonna send you one of those back on PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. So yeah. Yep. Let me refresh this page real quick and I'll tell you guys how many orders have come in. And I'm also a few of you guys, I'm gonna email you even more. Okay. Yeah. Got you. Okay. It is doing it. Okay, that's fine. So there is a slight glitch when they order. Yeah, it's $10 to order it, and then there's a $5 shipping charge, but they're charging double shipping. So yeah, okay, thank you, cool. Please and thank you. ... I'm doing a huge promotion right now and just trying to get these Fifth Amendment cop cards out for Christmas. And I'm seeing sometimes they'll order 2 cards and there's 2 shipping charges, and we have to fix that. I'm gonna Venmo or Cash App return the $5 to these people who already paid. OTVO. Shoot me an email. So 16219. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now, I'm giving away Redneck. Shoot me an email. DeleteLaws@gmail. I'll reduce the price for you. If you want 5 full trifolds, I'll definitely reduce the price for you. Big time, dude. Big time. I want everybody to have a trifold in their car. So if you want to get 5 out, I'll definitely reduce the price for you. Call me, text me, email me, and then we'll work it out 100% for sure. Yeah. Yep, it does. It's $10. The Fifth Amendment cop card right now, it was 30. It's now 10 for Christmas. It's now 10 for Christmas. Yep. It's 10 for Christmas. If you get 2 pair, I'm going to give you 3 pair. So then you can put these in envelopes, and I know it. So, hey, Mike, let me jump on screen real quick for you. Yeah, I'm literally fixing it right this second. The web guy's fixing it, but I will refund you that shipping charge. So, Mike, shoot me your PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Anybody who gets charged double shipping, I will shoot that right back to you. I'll shoot you back your double shipping charge. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. And I'm not trying to do that at all. I literally have it right here. Remember that text I just sent? Let me cover up the guy's name. That text I just sent. Hey, when people are ordering, they're getting more than 1 shipping charge. Okay, I'll see what's up. Please and thank you. I'm doing a huge promotion right now. So I'm going to fix that. I'll fix it right now. Well, it will. Okay, cool. Right on. Let me refresh that. Oh, Daryl, thanks for joining, man. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm doing a huge promotion right now. I'm giving away these cop cards for $10. I took them down from 30. I want you guys to get Christmas presents. I want you guys to get your Christmas presents. I saw that order number back here. I'm going to check on that order number. $16,219. Let me check on that for you real fast, okay? I'm checking on an order number. I'm just doing a giant promotion. I want to get these cop cards out of my possession. There's just no point in me having these. I already paid for these. I already put out the thousands of bucks for them. So let me check the status of Clown's order right here. Got you. Oh, so Grant, Clown, did you get the Fifth Amendment cop cards in the mail? Let me just real quick take a look at this. So did you get the Fifth Amendment cop cards in the mail? One second. I'm taking a picture just real fast here. Clown Patrol, did you get the Fifth Amendment cop cards in the mail? Let me know if you did or not. Okay, I got you right now, dude. I'll send these to you when I'm shipping all products that ordered tonight are shipping tonight. My guy will be here right after this live. I will give my assistant all the envelopes. They will mail today. Everything. Hopefully we'll get them. Hopefully I can get them mailed before 5:00. I want you guys to get these cards in the mail. $10. Yep, $10. I dropped them from 30 to 10. There's no point in me having these. There's no point. They don't do, I want to change the world. I don't change the world by keeping the cop cards. I want to make the world better for everybody. I don't want to. So I got you in gray. I got you. So I'll ship out your Fifth Amendment cop cards today. So I'm doing this huge promotion. So I got you right there in gray for clown. I got you, dude. So it's going to take like 5 days from the East Coast. Maybe, I mean, it was taking 9 days. Someone got their thing 9 days yesterday. They got their trifold yesterday. So, and then also if you guys get any trifolds as well, I'll give you the Fifth Amendment cop card as well. I just want to get these out to the public. I just want to get these out. I want people to get these. So I drop these down from 30 down to $10. Let me see if that shipping thing is fixed yet. Not yet. Nice. Okay. Right on, Mike. By the way, if you guys order 2, I'm going to give you 3 sets so that you'll get 6 cards in the mail. If you order 2, you'll get 3. You need the driver and the non-driver. And what I want you to do is if you get pulled over, you give the non-driver in your car the Fifth Amendment cop card. And you say, you only use this and you keep your mouth shut. Really. It's that serious. You have to be that way. You use the Fifth Amendment cop card non-driver and you keep your mouth shut. You keep your mouth shut. You know, that's how you do it. These are like hotel keys. You know, you go to a hotel key and you check into the Hilton or the Sheraton or whatever you go to. I guess more like Motel 8. I'm checking in. But even Motel 8 has got these bad chickens. So that's what I made these out of so they won't fade or tear. You can cut them into pieces. You could destroy them if you tried to. But that's what I made these out of. And I want to get these in people's hands. So they're only $10. And you get 2. And if you get 2 pair, you get 3 pair. So it looks like if you get 2 pair, you get 3 pair. And then what you do is because these are going right back up to 30 as soon as this live stream is over. So I can try to make some profit off people who don't come to the live stream. And I need to make profit too. You know what I mean? Don't be upset with me because I got to try to make a profit on some things, you know. But 3 pair. If you order 2 pair, I'll give you 3 pair. And you can put these in an envelope and put a bow on them, and then, you know, get the PDF trifold and print it out. So right there. That's the whole goal. Okay, should be good now. Okay, boom. So anybody who got double charged on shipping, please contact me. I'll see it. I'll contact you because I'll do all the orders. I'll do all the orders for my assistant. I took over all shipping, all trifolds, all 5A cop cards, t-shirts, posters. I now ship everything. There's no more anybody else shipping my stuff ever again. Not ever again. I need to know because I take a picture of it. I got a photograph of, let me see if I can show it to you guys. Let me grab my, because when I tell someone, hey, I'm going to send you a free Fifth Amendment cop card, and they don't get their Fifth Amendment cop card in the mail, that's never going to happen again now that I took over all shipping. Because if it ever happens again, I'll be able to go, let me pull up this picture real quick. Oh, I got you, Jimmy Fields. I got you. I got your Cash App. Make sure that you have your full name and mailing address on there. If you would, please. So you guys can't see this, but you won't be able to see any of the names. So that's cool. Good enough, whatever. So now that's a picture of now I took a picture of all the envelopes at the end of every night. So I know who got their order and who didn't. This is how I do it now. I mean, I'm going to make sure that I never have a shipping problem ever. Well, it'll be completely on me now. If it's going to fail now, it's my failure. And so I don't fail. So now I get a photograph of all the envelopes that go out, and it's dated. So now you'll be able to call me and say, hey, when did you order your trifold? I ordered on, December 2nd. Great. Let me check December 2nd. Let me check December 3rd. your trifold got shipped within 24 hours. So it's in either December 2nd or December 3rd. I try to get it out last shot at night, try to get to the post office before it closes. But now I just, yeah. What I can't read what that says. That says, you don't change the world by not sending my trifold. And when I try to tell you that you don't help me back, I bought one. Mark, shoot me your order number right now. Let's take a look at that, bro. Let's take a look at it. I had a shipping snafu. My previous shipping got messed up. So if you didn't get a hold of me, it's because you didn't email me, because I check every single email I get, even dick pics. I check all my emails, no matter what's in it. I check my email. So if you're missing a trifold, dude, just reach out to me. You can just tell me. Yep, I know it. So just reach out to me, brother. Tell me your Don't say ever again, because when you become governor, I need help now. I need help now. Oh, you ordered 3? Yeah, I dropped these down to $10 because this is the best Christmas present ever. I just have to get them out. I mean, if you ordered 3, I'm going to give you even more. You just got to make sure that you give them to people. Chevy, what's up, Chevy? Oh, is it? That's okay. You're here now, Bruce. I just want to get these out. I want as many people to get the Fifth Amendment cop card as they possibly can. As many people as we possibly can get the Fifth Amendment cop card. Use it as a stocking stuffer. It's only $10. I dropped it down to $10 for everybody so that everybody could get it. And then it's a great stocking stuffer with an envelope on it. Just put it in an envelope and put it on put it in a stock. Order number 16345. Is that the guy that just said he didn't get his trifold? I'll check on it. 16345. Sorry about that. Okie dokie. Let me check on that. Yeah, Joseph. Got you, Joseph. Got you, buddy. Yep, got your order. No problem, dude. You are in there. You are in there. $10. I'm doing them for $10. I'm doing them for $10 right now. Get 2 pair and I'm giving you 3. I'm doing them for $10. Let's get them out. What are we playing games for here? What's the point? What's the point in having these? Who was the dude that said he didn't get his trifold? I want to make sure that I want to check that order. Did he give an order number in here? Oh, that's the wrong guy. Yeah, you can do it. You can send it to me through WeTransfer.com if you have footage you want me to review, or you can use YouTube and put it unlisted and send me the link. Chris, you should have got yours, man. Is this the? Yeah, Chris, I specifically mailed yours. I got a picture of your envelope. Yours is gone, Chris Boudreau, 100%. I took over all shipping, Chris. So yours is 100% shipped. I shipped it myself. I wrote your name and your address on your envelope. 100%. I took over all shipping. That's why I have 1,000 cards in now. I got 1,000 Fifth Amendment cop cards in. That's why I dropped it down to $10. Just get them out of here. Just buy them. $10. You get 2 pair. I'll give you 3 pair. So Chris, let me know. It's taken like 7 to 9 days sometimes on the East Coast now. Some people in Ohio were getting theirs in 4 days. And then, South Florida was getting theirs in 9 days, 10 days to get their stuff. And I'm, I keep such great records. I should have been shipping the entire time because I realize I'm efficient. You want to get something done, give it to a busy person. If you give me something, I eviscerate it because I just am so busy, so busy. The cards were made in Los Angeles. If you want a referral to make your own cards, let me know. Shoot me an email and I'll give you the guy's name and number who built these cards for me. That you mean actually created the card? Is that what you're talking about? Made this little like hotel key card? Yeah, just shoot me an email, Siri, and I will give you the guy's name and number if you want to get your own cards made. It's expensive. I literally spent more than $6,000 on getting these cards done up front, cash. But I had to. I absolutely had to. Yeah. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on, Chris? I mean, I can check. Chris, I think I've actually called you on the phone and talked to you, didn't I? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Just. Hmm, hmm. Oh, you're in Iowa. Oh yeah, you got yours quick. Yeah, Dan, I actually wrote your full address on your package yourself. Chris, I'm pretty sure I sent you. If you guys ordered a digital product, check your junk, check the spam folder. For some reason, sometimes the products go into the spam folder. But I'm selling the Fifth Amendment cop car right now for $10, everybody, for $10. For $10, I was 30. I dropped it down to 10. If you get 2 pair, I'm giving you 3 pair. I just want to get these out of my. I mean, there's no point in me having them. There's no point in me having them. Yeah, Dan, I hope I threw you an extra pair. I hope I threw you an extra pair. Anybody gets it 1 pair, I'm definitely. If you get 2 pair, I'm giving you 3. That's 100%. That's 100%. The link is, yeah, I'm selling these for $10 just to get them out of here. Right there. I mean, there's no point in me having these. I literally built these so that people, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The truth is that the reason I created these, one of the biggest reasons I created this is because when you get stopped and you're a non-driver, and I'm constantly seeing people who are not driving, who are walking down the road, I'm seeing it. And the cop comes up and says, "Hey, give me some ID." And then they go through this back and forth fight over whether or not they have to give the cop their ID. And so I created the non-driver card, specifically for number 4. So that when the cop says to you, "Hey, give me your ID," and you know that he does not have probable cause and you do not have to give him your ID, I created the non-driver card specifically for number 4. And number 4 on the non-driver card, cop demands ID and says he has reasonable articulable suspicion. Now, in states where there's stop and ID laws, you have to state, because of Hibble versus Nevada in the Navy blue below, you have to say, "I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as good citizen." Hibble versus Nevada, with reasonable articulable suspicion, citizen must state how they ID. Do not give ID without probable cause. There it is. Cop says, "Hey, give me some ID." You then go, "Sure, can I get my card out of my pocket?" And he's going to say, "Get it." Then you pull your wallet out. This yellow and black card is going to stand out in your wallet like a sore thumb, just like it stands out in the back of my phone. And then I pull it out and I say, "You want my ID, officer? You don't have probable cause. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Here you go. Here's the card. If you want, I can read it to you, because now as soon as this is done, I'm already filming." And so when the cop gets it, he can read it himself. You can say, "The law is in the navy blue. Citizen must state how they ID. Do not give ID without probable cause." So unless you have probable cause, then I'm not giving you any identification. He's going to say, "I'm going to arrest you for failure ID." And I'm going to say, "And this goes around your qualified immunity. This goes around your qualified immunity. You don't have qualified immunity when I show you the law from the Supreme Court that they created this policy that I have to state how I identify. I did that. I identify as good citizen. If you put me in torture cuffs and illegally detain me or arrest me, I will sue your happy ass. Bank on it, jackboot thug pig." That's why I created the non-driver card, because I was just going to create a driver card. And then I was like, nope. I don't care. Yeah, and Suri, I don't notice. I don't notice anything. I mean, I'm laser beam focus. No one's gonna detract. No one's gonna. You can't steal my shine. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a constitutional law scholar. Everybody else can suck hind tit if they don't like it. I don't care. I don't care about talk and blah, 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 blah. My job is to lead and to teach people the constitutional law that I know in my head and show you guys it's the Supreme Court, to supply you with stuff so you can fight back against the cops. That's my job. That's why I lowered the cop car down to $10. You get 2 pair, I'll give you 3. You buy 2 pair at $10, I'll give you the 3rd pair for free. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. That's how I'll do it. It's my job to do what I'm doing. And I know it's my job to do what I'm doing. Another new member. Wow, we got a lot of new members today. I think 5 or 6 people have become members today. Wow, that's a lot of members. Thank you guys for joining my YouTube channel. Remember, if I'm ever not here, I'll be on my website, deletelaws.com. I'll be streaming through deletelaws.com. Make sure, I drop this down to $10 so that you can give these to friends and family as stocking stuffers, and it doesn't break your main bank for getting people stuff that you want to get them a iron neck, or you want to get them those floor mats for their car, or you want to get them, you want to get them something that matters, that they're really gonna. Well, you know what? If you really want to get them something that matters, you tell them it's yellow and black and it goes in your wallet. You only pull it out when you have to deal with pigs. This does really matter. But I'm talking about, your brother wants a sleeping bag because he goes camping all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. You want to have that $30, $40, $50, $60 money to put into something big, where if I drop these down to 10, you can make them stocking stuffers and I still make a little bit of money. It's not killing me. And I already paid for these. I paid for these in October. I paid for these in October. I already bought all these. I already paid for them. So to me, it's like, I'll never be rich. You'll never be rich. I mean, just put it out of your head that you're going to be rich. Just stop it. Stop it. You're not going to be rich, bro. There's a very small chance you're going to be rich. Very small. Very small. So don't put it in your head. Now, if I sold all of these for $30, oh man, I'd have some. If I sold all these for $30, I'd be having some money. What's up, Playboy? But you know what I'm saying? Let me check. Let me read some names here real quick, and just let me check Cash App and see if Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. If you guys sent me anything, make sure you put your full information on there. Yeah, I got a Cash App from one person. Got you. For Zach, I got you. And then for Jimmy, I got you. I got you, Jimmy. And Jimmy, I'm going to send you 4. And Zach, I'm going to send you 3. So I got your Cash App. Let me check Venmo and just see if anybody else sent me $10 or $20 or $30. And I'm going to send you out your 5th Amendment cop card as well. So let me see. Yeah, I got a couple on Venmo, I think. Let me see who hit me up. Oh no, that's just old. That's old money. Sometimes if I get money on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, I just leave it there. You know what I mean? Because then how you run out of money, you'll be running low on cash, and I'll check my PayPal or my Cash App or my Venmo, and I'll be like, oh shit, let me just instant transfer this to my bank account real quick. And then I instant transfer the money from my Venmo to my bank account, or my PayPal to my bank account. And then I got money again. I mean, I've done it before when I'm eating lunch or dinner somewhere and I go to pay and I'm like, oh shit, let me just check my bank. And I check my bank. And then I remember I still got like $90 in PayPal. So then I'll instant transfer the money. I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you do the exact same shit. That's why I leave it. I got a $90 balance on my Venmo. So I'm like, woo-hoo-hoo. What's up, Playboy? What is up, Playboy? Let me check PayPal. Anybody sent me $10? Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. Right on, Mike. I got you. I got SWE Observer. Man, SWE Observer, I mean, consistent. You're just so good. People, some of you guys are just Chevy's, I mean, you have no idea. What did you ask? I'm sorry. All you shut the front door. What did you ask me, my friend? I was not looking at comments. I was just seeing if anybody sent me their full address or information. They wanted me to send them out the 5th Amendment cop card. I just wanted to make sure. I mean, maybe I should just leave it down. Maybe I should just leave it down at $10 and let people use these for stocking stuffers. and I won't sell all 1,000. You know what I mean? There's no way. There's no way. I know it, Dan. I know it. Did you get yours though, Bruce? Bruce, you cash at me, but Bruce, did you want me to send that to anybody? I mean, why don't you send me a cousin or a sister or a brother or a best friend who you want me to send that to, and I'll send it to them. I got you, Alvaro. I got you. And I got you, Bruce. So Bruce, just let me know who you want me to send that to. I know, Dan. Dan, I know, dude. I know. It's so funny. It's it's consistent, bro. Like, yeah. Listen, I don't do this anymore. So don't anybody think that they can get me. Okay. But there was a time when I used to get like hit up. I mean, I still get hit up all the time just because people think I'm rich or something, or like I have like this endless access to money. So I get hit up all the time. And this one guy sent me this letter and was like, "Hey, Chille." And I read everything. I look at everything, even people who send me weird shit. I'm just like, fucking another weirdo. I just click it. Right. But I look at everything. And this guy sends me this email and he says, "Hey man, I just need this to get by on this. And if I can get this, then I can get to this next thing. If I can get to that, then I can get to this next thing." And I was like, and I'm, Dan, goes right along. Venmo is dangerous for me. I'm always giving 20 to my friends. Right. Well, this guy didn't even know, but he sent me the letter. And initially I'm like, and then the next day I get a follow-up letter and it's like, "Hey man." And this is why I have my cousin check my emails, because I just, so anyway, he hits me up and I'm like, "It's just $40." And I'm like, "You know what? I'll just, it's $40. Guy gets the bus ticket, $40, big deal." So I sent him $40. And then a little while later, I get another email from the guy like, "Hey man, blah, 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 blah." And so then I whatever, another 40 or something like that. And then the guy hit me up again and was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Listen, like, you got to have mercy on me too." You know what I mean? Like, you got to have mercy on me too. I was like, "Listen, you can't do this to me, because you explain what you need so well, but explain what it's just like, so now I have oh, you got the cards? Right on, Brian. Brian got his cards in the mail. Yes. Sometimes it's taken up to 7, 8, 9, 10 days. So if on the East Coast, just remember, they're only $10, you guys. These are only $10. Great stocking stuffer, Fifth Amendment cop card. I literally mail them immediately so you get them before Christmas. I mean, I've got literally I have over 1,000 sitting right here next to me. I got these only for $10. $10. But Dan Hanlon, so now I stop checking my emails. I have my cousin sift through my emails first before I check the emails. And so now I try not to get caught up in it, but it's hard, man. It's hard, especially if you have a good day of sales and you're like, I did good today, I made a couple $100, and then, but there's also, this is the whole reason why I haven't started the nonprofit yet. It's $1,500 more to start the nonprofit. And I'm like, do I really want to spend $1,500 right now? But I want to start that nonprofit. I'm probably going to pull the trigger before the end of the year, even though it's going to crush me. I'm still going to do it anyway, but I'm going to start that nonprofit before the end of the year. We support people. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm selling these Fifth Amendment cop cards for $10. They were $30. Everybody get your Fifth Amendment cop cards right now, immediately, as quickly as you can. They're $10. If you get 2 pair, I'll give you 3. Okay, yeah. You're sending your address to me. What's going on, Chevy Playboy? Jimmy, I got your Cash App. Hey Dan, you need it for $5, man? I'll give it to you for $5. Shoot me your Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. I'll give it to you for $5. Go ahead. That's fine. You need it for $5? I'll give it for $5. If that's what you need. Fair enough. I got 1,000 of them in. So if you'll use it and you'll send $5 on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, I mean, I it's fine. If that's what you need, let's do it. If that'll get you, okay, cool. Shoot me your Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, Dan, and let me know your full mailing address, and I'll send you a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards, driver and non-driver, 100%. Yep. Yes. Merry Christmas, dude. You know. There it is, man. Yeah, let's just get them out. Let's just get them out. You know, I already paid for these. It was pain and suffering when I paid for them. You know what I mean? I already felt the sting when they were like, the bill was $6,000. I already felt that. I already did that. I already went through that. Now let's just get them out. Let's just get them into people's hands, because this could be the difference. You know, Dan had come here and I was, you know, stiff, then he would get pulled over and, yeah, Steve, your poster shipped, but you know, if Dan got pulled over and he had, you know, 2 days ago asked me for the Fifth Amendment cop card and he just said he was low on funds and he needed it for $5, and then I was like, okay, thanks, I appreciate that. I got your I got it memorized. I got your Cash App memorized. So, yeah, make sure your full mailing address is on there, Dan. No problem. Oh, I love the full printed and laminated poster. Wanted one for my office and purchased one to review with my wife and kids at home. There are many local places that will frame it as well, i.e. Michael's. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're really cool. I think, which by the way, I think we upgraded you and I sent you a laminated one. So if you don't want that laminated one, Steve, let me know. Because the one is like $99. The laminated one's like $140. I saw your order come in. So I think we sold 3 posters this month, and there was 2 were laminated, 1 was not. So the third one, I wasn't sure if it was yours or not, Steve, but I upgraded that person to a laminated poster instead of just the $99 version. So I'm not sure if that was you or not. But Ryan, go to the website, deletelaws.com. Go to the website, deletelaws.com. Yep, go to that website, deletelaws.com. I lowered these down to $10. I want everybody to get Fifth Amendment cop cards. Thanks, Redneck. Did you shoot me an email? Let me know. Redneck, did you still want 5 trifolds? Yeah, I've got yeah. This is how many these are how many pre-enveloped, because you know the thing is, for me it's like if there's a shipping problem, it's because it's not being, you know, it's so these are the pre-packaged, these are already the trifolds that are ready to go. These are the laminate, they're not laminated, they're on indestructible paper and rubber band, and these are the trifolds ready to go. So all I do now when people order, I strip your mailing address on there, snap it on an envelope, and just put a stamp on it and mail it to you. So Redneck, I think you wanted 5 of these. Let me know and I'll get you 5 of them. I'll get you 5 of them. And yeah, I'll definitely give you a reduced price, Redneck, 100%. Let's just get them into cars as quickly as we can. Oh, Dave, get the flock out of here, man. Get the flock out of here, dude. You're a good man. You're a good man. Yeah, just hit me up, Redneck. Hit me up, brother. I got you, man. 100%. I'll give you a nice discount too. You know, 100%. Thank you, Dave Hall. I appreciate that, man. I don't need it. What do I need all these trifolds for? What do I need them sitting here for? So it's Christmas time. Let's just get the stock out. Let's get this things to people as quickly as we possibly can. Yeah, everybody needs it. Everybody needs the product. I dropped this down. Thank you, Dave Hall. I appreciate you. Rights on. Always good to see you. Redneck, did you email me? I got your Cash App, didn't I? Redneck, you shoot me an email, deletelaws@gmail.com, or go through my inquiry form, because I think you're going to do Cash App, you said, or PayPal. Sure. Then let me know what you want as far as Fifth Amendment cop cards and trifolds, and then I'll just put a nice package together for you, and I'll hook you up, dude. 100%. 100%. I'll hook you up. Yep. And you'll be like, Chille gave me an awesome deal. Yeah, I will. 100%. I know everybody needs it, and I know it's expensive, and it's December, and it's Christmas time, and I want to change the world, and these don't do me any good sitting in my hand. These Fifth Amendment cop cards, they don't do me any good sitting here. So let's just get them out. $10. Get 2 pair. I'll give you 3. How's that sound? Yeah, let me check Redneck. Did you send me a Cash App, Redneck? Just put your username on there. Whatever. We can deal with it when I get off the live stream. Yeah, I got 5 for you right here, as you saw. I got bunches of them. Chevy, what's up, Playboy? Jack Boot, he's got in Silent Night, Holy Night. Silent night, holy night, all is calm. Yonder pig shop, Jack Boot Thug Pig searches Virgin Mary and child. He put yonder pig shop. I think there's a typo. Jack Boot Thug Pig searches Virgin Mary and child. Holy cow, the victims are tender and mild. Now sleep in the dungeon with no heavenly peace. Aw. God bless. God bless you. Well, I'm going to reciprocate. Thanks, April. God bless you, honey. I've got those t-shirts and stuff coming out. Remind me, April, I got your t-shirt with the Fifth Amendment cop cards coming. And I got those t-shirts and sweatshirts should be done by Friday. I just cannot wait. I just cannot wait. I just can't wait. I really can't. Thanks so much. So many Pistol P Rex. What's going on, my friend? Oh, Pistol P, I got you, man. Do I got your shipping address in here? I got you. I got your shipping address. Okay, I got you, Pistol Pete. Alvaro. Oh, Alvaro, I got you, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the extra $1. God bless you, dude. That was very sweet. Yeah, let's get them out. Let's get as many of these Fifth Amendment cop cards. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw that. I saw the Gunner TV video. So now compare what you saw in the past 2.5 hours with what you saw on Gunner TV. I mean, I pretty much broke down like 50 Supreme Court cases before this and taught people a lot of things they can go home with. And then I'm doing everything I can to get real products into people's hands that help them when the cops pull them over, when they force them over by gunpoint, slap torture cuffs on them. I teach people a lot of stuff. So I saw it. You think it matches up? You think it matches up? I see things, people. Dan, put it on your Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, or just shoot me. How'd you pay me? What'd you send me money on? Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App? Dan Weber, let me know how you. Oh, I know that. East Orange. I know it, dude. I know. There's all kinds of people who make videos about me because I know I have a big personality and a big heart, and so it's easy to make fun of people who put their heart on their sleeve and have a huge personality. But at the same time, it's a lot. 16358. You need me to look up your order? I can look up 16358, but it's a lot harder to join them into trying to change things and make things better. Oh yeah, I got you. That went through. Oh, right on, Steve. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that, man. Josh, Danny, right on. Sean, got you, Josh. Got you, Danny. Got you, John. Got you, Tyler. Right on. Cool. Totally cool. Angie, what's going on, Angie? Gotcha. Yep. Totally cool. Yeah, let's get these out. Let's not sit on these. I'm not really afraid. Tim, I'm not. I don't live in fear. You know what I mean? I would rather live on my feet than die on my knees. So if something happens to me, then something happens to me. But just the people know, Team DLZ, everybody knows I'm not suicidal in any way, shape, or form. So if anything happens to me, I was killed 100%. I would never exit this earth and quit on y'all. Someone has to lead, and it's me. I'm just doing it. I don't need permission. I'm just doing it. Just take the lead and lead. And that's what you can do. I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? Oh, did you guys see that conversation? Man, this was, I gotta give so I hired a new guy to do the editing for me. You guys know I don't spend any time editing. It's just such a waste of my time and my mission. Like I told my new editor, I said to him, hey, listen, you do a job and I'll pay you fairly to do the job. And I need you to do what you do. I don't want to put my fingertips on computers and edit footage and create shorts. I don't want to do any of that. I said, you need to do what you do and I need to do what I do. I took a phone call last night about a high school that has 2 different girls who are being raped by 2 different cops in the same high school. That was the phone call I had last night. That's where my time needs to be spent. And now I'm going to expose them. I'm going to expose those cops because I have the source. I have the confidential informant. I have the call recorded. So I'm going to expose those pigs who are raping those high school girls. That's where my time needs to be spent. So this editor that I brought in, he's doing such a great job. And I have not seen this yet, but I've gotten about 20 emails today. I've gotten about 20 emails today, like Franco's, of people reaching out to me some of these people I've never heard from before, saying, hey, Chille, I saw your video and I totally get why you do what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for letting me share what I've been through and the reason why I am the way I am, and I'm still a deep empath. I still love and trust people. I still trust people more than I should and let them, whatever. But I'm not going to live my life as a coward. I'm going to live my life right on the edge. So this editor, and so this is a shout out to the editor. This editor who I brought in, he's doing such a great job, and YouTube has such a heavy shadow ban on me on this channel right now. And so that means it's a heavy shadow ban on, so this is okay. So I haven't seen this yet, but I've gotten 20 emails about this. So let's watch a couple minutes of it because I haven't seen this yet. And I want to see what this editor cut together, why people are emailing me because I haven't even seen the video. I don't even know what he did. So let's take a look at what he did and see. This is the video where I'm getting all the emails about. To me, let me tell you what happened to me when I was in jail. I was in Twin Towers in LA County for a week, charged with 5 felonies equaling over 20 years in prison for the 5 felonies combined. I was innocent. The moment I went into the jail, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Place was dead quiet. Everybody was asleep. I walked into the Twin Tower jail bunk and there was maybe 150 men inside of this bunk. And when I walked in, I had just been arrested. I had just gone through the torture cuffs, through the abuse. It was closer to 5 because they no-knock raided me at 3 a.m. They had me in jail by 5 a.m. When the no-knock raid happened, that was one level of terror. When I went into the bunk, a guy walked up to me when I went in there. I had a blanket. I was wearing a jumpsuit. They dropped me off, took my shackles off, walked me in the cell, locked the cell behind me. And a guy ran up to me and said, yo, who you with? I had no idea what he was talking about. And I said, I'm in jail. I don't know what you're saying. And he grabbed my wrist and he looked at my name and he said, oh, Jose Maria. He said, you're with us. He said, come here, I'll give you a bunk. I had no idea. He walked me over to the bunk. He took my mattress from me, put it on the top bunk, said, you sleep up here. Then he opened up his hand and he had 3 packs of peanut butter and an apple. He said, here's some peanut butter and an apple in case you're hungry. And here's some water. And he gave it to me. It wasn't water. It was milk. It was a little tiny milk and it was warm. So I didn't drink it, but I was really hungry. And so I ate the peanut butter and I ate the apple because I was starving. I had been no-knock rated. I hadn't ate since yesterday. And the next morning when I woke up, they said, yo, come talk to us. The same guy who dropped the bunk off to me. And I go and I sit with a group of Mexicans and they say, yo, your name in here is Hollywood. I said, excuse me? And they said, your name's not Jose in here. We'll call you Hollywood. I said, okay. And they said, you're with us. You're with the Latinos. Your name is Jose Maria. You're Latino. You're with us. And they said, anything that we ask you to do, we need you to do. And in lieu of that, what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with protection and food, and you'll get your phone privileges and you'll get all these things. I had no idea what I was signing up for. No clue I was joining a gang. 4 days later, they gave me the tour that morning. You go pee in the pisser, you go poop in the pooper. You don't pee in the pooper. 4 days later, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to the bathroom and I went pee in the pooper. It was an outhouse pretty much. And so I peed in the pooper and I went back to bed. At 6 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, when the chain gang starts and they start getting the people ready for court and shackling them in chains, the same guy called me over and said, hey, Hollywood, come over here. We want to talk to you. I said, okay. I walked back to the similar area I was last time, but this time all the bunks were put together. There was blankets hanging over a group of bunks that had been put together. And they opened up the blanket and said, get in, Hollywood. And I entered inside of there. And in there was 20 Mexicans in a circle. I didn't know what was going on. And Shorty, who was 20 years old, and he was in charge of the Latinos in the cell block. He was the head of the gang. He said, hey, Hollywood, sit in the center of the circle. I said, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I'm pretty freaked out. The same people have been giving me peanut butter and giving me extra milk because I would only drink the milk and eat the peanut butter. I wouldn't eat anything else, just peanut butter and milk, peanut butter and milk. They said, hey, Hollywood, sit in the center. I said, okay. I sat in the center. And then Shorty said, hey, Hollywood, Lil Ray Ray said that he saw you go pee in the shitter last night. Did you go pee in the shitter? We told you you only go pee in the pisser and you go poop in the pooper. You don't pee in the shitter. But Lil Ray Ray said that he saw you last night. Did he see you last night peeing inside the pooper? I didn't remember. And I said, I probably did. I said, I don't know the rules. I'm not used to it. I didn't know it. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. And Shorty says, okay, guys, Hollywood has admitted to breaking the rules. Who says we knock his fucking teeth out right now? Let's take a vote. And around the circle, starting to Shorty's right, the first guy raises his hands. Let's knock his fucking teeth out. Then the next guy raises his hand. And then the next guy raises. It goes all around the circle. All 20 Mexicans raise their hands that they knock my fucking teeth out. And it got back to Shorty. He hadn't voted yet. And he goes, Hollywood, all these guys want to knock your pretty teeth out of your face. What do you think about that? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know it. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You know, you are in a pit, in a dungeon, and there's 20 men who are going to jump you. You all of a sudden, look at the goosebumps coming up on my arms. You just all of a sudden you become very. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional watching that. So yeah, I remember that. I didn't know. I remember telling the story. I don't remember. Yeah, that was a brutal time. That was hard. That was, if you want to see the rest of it, I'll put the link down in the chat. You guys can watch the rest of it on your own. I forgot. I told that story the other day. So yeah, I think I mentioned it to the editor. I said, hey, you should take a look at the story I told the other day. So yeah, if you want to watch the rest of the video, I'll stick the link down in the chat. There's the rest of it. Can you email me or tell me your order number, Uni? Can you tell me your order number? There was a glitch in the matrix. And so, yeah, love you too, man. Randy, love you too, dude. Got you, man. Got you. No problem, Randy. Now, Randy, it's taken, I'm going to throw in a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards for free, but it's going to take like 7 or 8 days to get to Florida, Randy, just so you know. Uni, let me know. Remember, we had a shipping snafu where a few orders fell between the cracks. If you haven't got your trifold, it's been more than 10 days. Immediately reach out to me. Immediately. Don't wait. I've been, yeah. And that made me super emotional. Let me calm down. So right now what I'm doing is I'm giving away the Fifth Amendment cop card for $10. I'm selling it for $10. So get the Fifth Amendment cop card. And the reason why I'm selling for $10 is because it's Christmas time. It's a great stocking stuffer. And I've got 1,000 of them in stock. 1,000. So they don't do me any good sitting here. Fifth Amendment cop card's $10. $10 total. $10 total. Good to see you, Mr. Bones. What's going on, Brick? Good to see you, buddy. How's it going, dude? Nice to see you. Shakur Capital. What is going on? Yeah, I dropped that link down in the chat. Let me check. Let me check real quick. Fifth Amendment cop cards, $10. Christmas special, everybody. Christmas special. Make sure everybody get Christmas special. I did, Dave. I got it, Dave. There's no mailing address though, so email me, Dave, and put the name of your Cash App in the email. I got you. Let me take a screenshot. Yeah, put the name of your Cash App in the email, Dave, so that I can ship you out the Fifth Amendment cop cards. I got you. Yeah, jail's such a horrible place. I went there, but $10 for the Fifth Amendment cop card. $10 for the Fifth Amendment cop card. It's so strange because I'm not a victim. I'm a freedom fighter. So when I see myself in a state of being victimized, it messes me up. It makes me emotional because I am not a victim. Let me check. Let me check Venmo, Victor. I mean, how much do you guys love Team DLZ? Like, how much do you like really, when it gets down to a couple hundred people, like when it's down to this couple hundred people, how much do you guys love this team? Like, is this not like the best group of people? Like, it really is. There's so many people here who care so deeply about other people. How about shoot me your email, Uni? Shoot me your email. Shoot me an email, deletelaws@gmail. And I'll take your email address and I'll look through the orders and see if your order shipped or not. But just contact me right away. Don't wait a second. What? Okay. Got you, Victor. I got you, buddy. I got you. Thank you for the note. I got you. Shoot me an email, Uni. Yeah, lots of education, lots of education. A lot of people come here just to learn. And this new wall, by the way, this isn't the format I want to present it, but I just wanted to walk down real quick and do a live stream and go over all the cases because, as I teach more and more about the history and the foundation of our country and then how the Supreme Court screws us and they're an unelected body of men, it has to change. We've got to change it. We've got to change it. We've got to change this system where the people who are in charge of our civil liberties are working against us and they're not accountable to the people. And that's why I talked about the 17th Amendment changing that we elect senators in 1913. We can do the exact same thing with the Supreme Court. And we absolutely should. The people being appointed for life has to change. It has to change. All right. I'll tell you what, I'll get the flock out of here. Tell your friends tomorrow. I'll do the same thing on the cards. I'll put them back up to regular price until the live stream tomorrow, you know? But you guys, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. This was a great, thank you for allowing me to try out my teaching style with this. I don't have anybody here to help me right now. So when I have the camera here and we do it a little different, it'll be even better. But I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. KT, Bruce, Dan, shoot me your email, deletelaws@gmail. Greg, good to see you. KT, Brick, Newhouse, Chevy, Jeff hates pigs. Greg, Bruce, Mikey, I didn't see Mikey in here. Gloria, you have rights, cops have duties. Danny Holt, what is going on? SSDI, Alan, what is going on, my friend? 421, what's up? KT, Dan, my friend. Dan Shu, what is going on? Good to see everybody. I wanted to just say thank you. Just read out. Peter, good to see you. Stephen, thank you for coming. Dan Hanlon, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. James, Clown Patrol, good to see you guys. If you guys don't get your order in the last 10 days, shoot me an email right away and I'll check on it for you, okay? Thanks for your time. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.